MC Radio Rental doing some live improvised raps using random words. 5 more random words. I'm like an archer, and I like to defend all of the marches, and I like to defend all of my farms, and I'm gonna protect them from any harm. So I like to get my bow, and my marrow is gonna be filled with my arrows. And I'm like Colin Farrell, and I keep corpses in barrows or wheelbarrows. I'm so hallowed, and I like to keep marrow all up in my toes. That's like I like to walk through the hedgerows, and like down the hallway I'm falling. I cry like I'm bawling, but I'll never let the ball get past. The goalkeeper is so standing fast. I like to eat so many calories, so come at me. I'm foraging for what I need, all of the meat and meat. It is like to keep me lean, and I exceed my expectations. I'm filling me with elation, and then to cremation. I guess that's where we end, see, 'cause the vegetation is raising hay, and I like to see the day. I like to write bills like on a duck. I like no frills. We're gonna keep it simple. That is my one ideal. And when I'm getting really hungry, you know that I like to eat eels. Sometimes I like to govern in a council. I like to eat by the mouthful. I like to climb mountains. And I've got gout too, but if I'm an ICBM, I'm intercontinental. And if in my mind, it's in the mental. I'm not joking, this is serious. I'm like King Lear in the nearer shit. I'm getting nearer, so you better fear the mirror. It's like King Lear, and I'm a seer because I can see through time. That's how I write rhymes. And if you need escape, I'll give you a sanctuary. It's mounting, scary. What rhymes with sanctuary? Sanctuary. I'm hankering for berries. That's why I gotta forage. I've got all of this knowledge. When I need to eat, you know, I start with porridge. And when I'm on the football pitch, I have a nice position. So I listen, and I'm so good with the rhymes, I glisten. I'm like gold, and you know that I'm my mission. My mission is to make incisions, and because I've got my cell phone, I phone home. I got so much coverage, knowledge shit, coverage. But the other shit is I'm so elite, I'm mean and lean, I'm like a rap machine. So my lean machine, I'm elite, so I draw near. Okay, that was a warm-up. Let's keep going. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. Okay. Sometimes I like a bit of jewelry. I like a little tomfoolery. And so what I like to wear is a ring right where I determine I'm mine for the firmament. I gotta keep it simple. I only have one ring, so that's why I like to sing. 'Cause you know that the lands of Middle Earth are like Colin Firth. So I give a wide berth to anyone on my turf. Look, if I come from Mordor, you better force the door. This is pretty poor, but I'm gonna turn the door. 'Cause if you're not in the city, you're in the wild. And if you're not intense, you are mild. I like to get riled up, so I size up all my incisors. I make an invention. So my new intention is to make a patent. That's how I will capture. By my IP, I write my ideas, then you commercialize it. I fear that there might be some bad controls. There might be copyright trolls, 'cause you know that ownership is onerous. And sometimes patent trolls will roll over what they control. Look, they're gonna dominate. It's motivated by hate. And it makes me irate. It makes my teeth grate when people deprive the world of what would improve the curls and a world unfurled. 5 more random words, it has value. What rhymes with value? Value. That's why I tell you that if you've got a rope, you make a knot. And if you got some, you've got a lot. And if you got teeth, don't let them rot. So brush them. Look, if I was a secret agent, I would feel elated. I'd go to every continent, from Oceania to Eurasia, and it is so familiar. It's so similar, familiar. And I'll drill ya, and I'll till ya like you were soil. And if I need the money, I need the finance. I'm like my ants. I've got an ant hive, and the queen and the little guys, the soldiers, right? They have no eyes, but they like to ride the little ant car. But I wouldn't deprive them of that art. And they ride so far in the little ant car. Look, 5 more random words. Everyone pees. So just say please and thanks. Alright, everyone pees. Everyone has needs. So if your urethra is seeing the ether, you might draw it nearer, or else you'll have a seizure. Just don't hold it in, kid. You gotta go and release it. You gotta satisfy bodily needs, or you'll topple down to your knees. It's simple health. I have a wealth of this knowledge, and you know you better eat porridge. Not too hot, not too cold, or else your body will fold. Like a drying suit, you take it to the dry cleaner like a zoot suit. And you know that the truth is that I'll disabuse you of your views, and if it doesn't work, it's not viable. It's like lion hide. A lion hide suit is reliable, cause you know the time is rising for the lion pride to exist on this size. I dig a ditch. I never miss. Without a hitch. I never glitch, cause this conversation brings elation. I'm raising hay like Cain and Abel. And I'm so able, that's why I'm telling you this fable. So 5 more random words. I like to code. I like to put the ones and O's. I like to make a new function by writing under all of my junctures at this juncture. I'm in the jungle, writing code up in the jungle at cyberspace. And I rise on hate, and I'm elated by the fade. If I wasn't senior, I would be a junior. If I wasn't useful, I would be useful. Like an usurer, like someone who loans too much money. But I'm stuck in a loop. I'm trying to ablute this shit out of my chute. I'm like Groot, I am Groot. I play the flute. And if I wasn't speaking, I'd be mute. 5 more random words. How can I be convinced? I am in a pinch, like I was fighting a crab in a ditch. I've been pinched cause I'm fighting crustaceans. And I am so changeless. And this mad relation is causing inflation of the money, of the ones and O's, of the geometry of my own nose. My nose is increasing in size. I'm like Pinocchio telling lies. And you know that the snow will flow like a glacier, freezing your toes. And you're gonna catch a virus, and you might just have to remind us of what my mind forgot, cause it was lost. Everything that was inside is now forgotten, lost and rotten. I'm on top of the Acropolis like a hippopotamus, I'm breaking the crust like I was so fussy and so fusty that I don't eat the crust. A rolling stone will gather no moss. Look, we begin as a baby, and then we grow into a child. And sometimes when you got a disease, you've got bile. And sometimes you begin a subscription with a free trial. And you start with one, you add another, then you've got a pile. But look, I'll take on a disguise. and I will hide my eyes. Like the Lord of Flies, the island will be ruled by a child, and he'll be juvenile, but he will inflict his might, because democracy does not so easily arise. 5 more random words, because I enjoy it. It raises me, it's buoyant. It's like oxygen, and you know that I have got a lot of it. It makes me proud. Every time my voice goes loud, by pence and pounds, or kilograms if you're metrically inclined. Look, sometimes the magma rises. Through the crust it prizes, and geysers of magma rise up like lava coming through the crust. Alright, new beat, 5 random words, let's go. Trying to land consistent rhymes, that's what we're trying to do. Alright, 5 more random words. Okay, 5 more random words. Yo. The laws of physics, stretch and mixing, make incisions, stretching, licking, bickering, breaking, because there's no overtaking. The elation is straining at this frame and the membrane inflaming, stretching, colliding and grazing, breaking and remaking, repulsion and attraction, collapse and contact, relaxing, increasing the relaxing like waves at an action, spooky action at a distance, inflicting resistance. It's like an artist. Alright, I don't like this. Yeah, collapse and contraction. That was what I was trying to go for, Midabol. Alright, new beat, 5 random words.
27 hearts beats.
5 more random words. Okay. When we rise and we have an ambition, we want to get gold medals that glisten. We try to speak and to listen. We sometimes are inflicting. We're trying to rise to achieve an achievement. We sometimes rise in agreement. From the top of the sky down to the cement. We leave and we're leaving. Look, sometimes I got a brother and I got a sister. I got a father, a mother, but some relatives are irrelevant. That's why we call them cousins. Don't see them a lot and that's how it be. The cuz in the city to the country. The family tree spreads wide with many roots and many saplings far and wide. And so I like to remind that the family tree rises high, and so that's why when you multiply lives, you start with 2 with 4 grandparents, and then they have 8 parents, and then it's like 16 and 32 and 64, and before you know it's all disorder because genealogically it's a chaos. There's so many relatives, there's a lot. Did you know there's like an app in Iceland to find if that man is a blood relative? It's scary that it's so close, but you never know what the relation is genetically. It's crazy, kid. 5 more random words. Sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss. Sometimes the bullseye, sometimes the fence. Sometimes I miss the dartboard entirely, and to be honest, it's not what I like to see. You gotta practice with the darts. Sometimes you throw close or you throw far. You think that the bullseye is the best, but it's actually the triple score near the edge. Darts is a weird fucking game. I never really learned how to play. Sometimes you throw a dart at the board and you hit someone's friend and there's gore. There were so many injuries. It's not what I like to see, that's why I reside with heat. Like I was in the pie I see, and it gives me joy. I am buoyed, I am floating with the ocean that I employ. I'm throwing my darts pretty hard, Lars, because Lars, your name is Delarka. That's delightful, like I'm a farmer. And I was growing palm trees lightly. I like to squeeze the lemons in any weather, in any event. I need the citrus and it glistens with the vitamin C, rising like heat so that I can see that's the nutrition that I need. And down the highway I like to turn right or left, or on the bench, whether on the driver's seat or in the passenger. You know I'm gonna capture you. Alright. 5 more random words, new instrumental, improvised rap, let's go. Alright. 5 more random words. Yeah. You know I like to work. I make labor. 'Cause my employment, sometimes it makes paper. Where you'll like to choose, we play favorites. And when I drink Aid, I drink Gator. If I see a crocodile, it's see you later. 'Cause when it comes to that game, I'm not a player. I'll never wrestle a fucking alligator, 'cause they got scales and tails that can slay ya. Alligators don't cooperate. If you fight, you're gonna need an operation, because that's the bullshit that they're inflicting. They cause no elation, so if you... Okay, that's not a great instrumental to use. But, you know, fighting alligators, it's just not a great idea, if we're being honest. Alright. 5 more random words. Yeah, 5 more random words. On a journey, stick to the course, or else you'll get lost and you'll feel remorse. If I got a code, I spit it in Morse. Beep beep, beep beep, horse. I like to keep it in Morse code, or else I'll fall down into the loam. That's how I keep on the flow, so I don't sink my fucking boat. If I go down, I'll go down to hell, where there's no butterfly or rebel. However will I communicate? If I can't chew through the hate, that is not a texture that I can envelop. That is not a measure I want to... Too complicated. I'll start again, I'll erase it and change it, and then I'm gonna migrate like a strange bird. I relate to this herd. You gotta stay with your fellows, or else you'll get lost in the bellows. It's fucking terrible. I'm errant, so I'm gonna find a better tune. It's gonna make me twitch if I'm summoned by a lich, because I am the undead. I'm undead and I got no head, 'cause you know that I've been bled. No blood left in me, 'cause I'm dead. New instrumental and 5 random words. Then we'll see. Alright. 5 more random words. Yo! 5 more random words. Sometimes I eat too fast, and sometimes I just can't last. If I swallow too much soup, I'm gonna choke like I was Augustus Gloop, so then I'm gonna hiccup. When I got combining 2 things, I'm gonna mix up. When I gotta break the paper, I rip it up, and if I've got scissors, then I slice it up. I gotta convince you of the deliciousness of my mixture. I don't wanna have to rip you, so I might have to mix up what I had before. The recipe is endless, see? That's why I'm messing with this beat. I gotta stay lean, I gotta stay fleet, up on my feet. I'm like Hermes when I'm riding, 'cause I'm on high, I'm not silent. I gotta get up into the skyline for the highlights of the sunshine. Will my rise and my rhymes will never slide. I'm gonna stay on high as long as I'm alive. That's why I'm riding this fucking chariot. Like in a chariot, it's evident, it's evidence. If I make the recipe, I measure it. I'm never penniless. I started with the merriment, nothing but merriment. It was endless, so I had to make the evidence to find the residence that I need. So I never stay silent. I am rising on high like a pirate. I take the fucking long ship so I can rise through the big trip. If I fall asleep, I need a pinch so that I know that I'm not in the dream. It might be a nightmare because I'm scared. I'm shaking with fright while I shed in my bed. 5 more random words, I need employment. I gotta survive for my enjoyment. If we're all happy, then we are rejoicing. And I'm like fucking Joyner, I'm like Lucas, because you know that I choose this. I exist for this music. Whatever rights I have, I don't abuse them. Whenever I'm on mine, you know I'm lucid. Yeah, that's the fucking groove to it, the lucid shit, the music that I inflict on my shit. Rising high like a pirate, 5 more random words, it's integrated. I never fuck with hatred. If it's there, I will ablate it. Like 2 animals mating. It's a trade-off, because whatever good thing you gotta... I like this. I like this rhyme though. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna respond to Snowflake's live chat. You know I see a beaver. I can barely believe her. If she was there, I would have to leave her, because a beaver eats so much wood. And that's just not good. We need the trees to suck up the O2C, which is CO2, you see, because the fucking greenhouse effect is not what I would elect. And I suggest that we need more ice, because the temperature is what we need to rise. Well, you might have to invert that, because by rise I mean ice. We need it to be colder if we wanna live any older. So we gotta gather the stones together into a mighty boulder, because it's only by unity that you and me will see some peace. It's only by working together to master the weather that we can survive this together. Well, that's kind of a positive message, isn't it? Isn't that nice? Thank you, Snowflake, for the messages. 5 more random words. Rapping live. Let's go. Sometimes I gotta send a message. I never left it. I've gotta send it, so I put it in a bottle, throw it in the ocean, and it's lost. So will it ever be found? Will someone sometime know what I resound with? The sound that I found that I'm sending out, so someone can read what I write by day or night. I might find expel from my mind. Someone will have to find what I write, or else there'll never be sunrise, because the species might go extinct. And you know that we'll be missed, but if we can't bring together our needs, we will never be seen. Like the fucking pangolin, it's massive, kid. The giant pangolin, have you heard of it? Some kind of prehistoric, paleolithic, some kind of mystic image. It was a creature that would rise on high, walk the Loch Ness by the dark of night. It would find T-Rexes, it would fight, and you know that it would always survive, because the giant pangolin was massive, kid, and it would believed it would never go extinct. But if you look it up on Wikipedia, You would never see it because sometimes things disappear and there's no evidence. And there is never merriment. They're not even berries. Merriment. Whatever, kid, but the point is sometimes things will disappear. Things are far which once were near. They're dead like King Lear. So, yeah, whatever, but I'm in the studio. What rhymes with studio? Alright, fuck it. We're gonna get a new rhyme and 5 more random words. We're gonna try and do better. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. Okay. We're gonna try and do better. Reasonably temperate bars. Thank you, Mighty Ball. Sometimes I gotta take off my clothes, I strip. So I gotta keep it lit. That's why I only undress in the light. I would never undress in the dark of night. Cause why would I miss out on something so fine? Only strip off in the light. I won't go into too much detail, I don't wanna derail. But in the dark of night, you know it's midnight. That's when the ghosts come out to start fights. Sometimes the people come out to start fights. And you know it's not right, but by the light of the moonlight, temperature rises and the tides are sizing up. That's why I like to find the fluff. But when things change, you know there's mutations. The DNAs are rearranged and new evolution by which the forces are finding new improvements of the phenotypes. That's how we keep the DNA tight, coiled up inside the fucking DNA and RNA are 4 things. It's like A, C, G, and T. That's how the Gattaca is keeping us lean. Cause genetically we are mentally and physically fit. And you heard it here, so that's why some creatures are similar. It's called convergent evolution, kid. We're gonna try and teach some biology, drop a knowledge in the top of this live stream, but sometimes there are divisions. That's called divergent evolution. Things that were close come apart. Parted like the Red Sea, and I might speak lightly. Like the heat that's rising, it's shimmering, called a mirage. And I like to be large. Look. You need a power cord, or how will the electricity keep it warm? You gotta plug in your heater, or else you won't achieve the heat that you need, kid. Sometimes we're brewing a storm. Sometimes the dead will be mourned. Sometimes your objects will be pawned, they'll be sold for a door. Look, sometimes you gotta take the harvest, pick up your scythe and rise all of the palms. Harvest armfuls of palms so that you can eat, achieve your needs, and then you make a buffet. Buffet? What rhymes with buffet? Hooray! Buffet! Buffet! Buffet costs a lot, eh? But I need my dignity. That's how I'm inflicting hate. It's like a mini-me. It's like him but big, see? Alright, that was pretty crap. We'll do 5 more random words. 5 more random words. Let's go. Most folks have a mother, but sometimes there's another. That one we call a father. And it's sometimes a bother. Family dynamics are complicated. Sometimes it causes complications that are erased and it's ever changing. Adam and Eve is with the beginning. Yeah, I got some questions about that. How did Adam and Eve create 8 billion people without it getting a little messy? In the Garden of Eden, I didn't see it. I wasn't there. I wouldn't. I'm not a hair. Look, but my disposition is to enrich the kid with the with these great visions that I'm inflicting all through the division. It's dangerous to raise hate like Cain and Abel, so I'm I gotta tell a fable to fill you all with elation, and you know that the citrus is sour. It causes pain by the hour. When you're quiet, get louder. When you're weak, get some power. Sometimes if it quacks, it might be a duck. Or you might be out of luck, 'cause it might not be a duck. It might be... fuck. Look, 5 more random words, my skills are limited. But could they be infinite, kid? I make associations, I'm raising hate like Cain and Abel. I feel elation, I feel betrayed by the taste of pain. So we got to ensure that we can make more. Snowflake did an emoji of a frog. Well, you know that frogs like to sit on logs. You know that they like to sit in bogs. You know that they like to wear togs. Because if frogs were the swimmers, you know that they can be Olympic. Frogs are great athletes. That's why they like to be so lean and so fleet. A frog is like a damn jumping machine. 'Cause the frog's leap can rise so high. They've got legs with such might. Some people eat the frogs, and they say that it's delicious. Personally, I would never make that kind of distinction, because I think that all food is equally delicious. Equal opportunity listens. I eat all food equally, that's why I like to secrete all kinds of seasons, all kinds of seasoning, 'cause the meaning is so deleterious. That was barely a rhyme, but sometimes we have to compromise, so 5 more random words. Alright, we'll try that again. Come on, we can do better. We can do better than this. Alright. 5 more random words. You gotta spare people, and you gotta show them mercy. And if you're not late, you know you will be early. Sometimes I'm kinda surly, I'm not nice, I'm rising in the... 'cause I'm unfurling. Like a flower unfurling, and sometimes for research you need a grant. Sometimes like you are a plant. Because you need to photosynthesize all the sun that shines, and sometimes the web has a sight, and sometimes the sun will make light. How else would you photosynthesize without the light to make the energy inside? I have expectations. Makes me feel elation. And I am erasing everything I write before it is contagious, like a virus in the mind, kid. It might take over your eyes and run down your spine. To where the blood lies, to where the heat beats and eyes shine. That's why I gotta make a judgment. Everything high above, I am under. Sometimes I feel the thunder. Sometimes it's like 100 inside one. It's like symbiosis, unity. And you can see what you mean to me as I try to spit lean. 5 more random words. I see an elephant or a mammoth. It's evident that a big stompy man with no hands and one trunk might have to find new ways to escape the environment. He's firing on 4 cylinders. You can't... cylinders. 5 more random words, 'cause my agenda is just to end it. We gotta find a conclusion, or else we can't keep on losing. So don't abuse it. What you've got, just don't lose it. If you got 2 and combine them, you make fusion. I see a mushroom. I haven't got much room. 'Cause the fairy in the mushroom doesn't have much room for furniture. It's all IKEA. I see your needs and I stay lean inside my seasons. Because this minimal space is all we got to rearrange. So the fairy inside the mushroom house is like the size of a mouse. So you got to find dollhouse furniture so that you can move around. 'Cause if you fill it up with too much shit, you can't even move in. My apartment is so small. It's just a room. It hasn't even got a hall. Okay. That was alright. Thanks for the emojis, guys. We'll keep going with your suggestions. That's really fun to take live suggestions for me to use in the rap, so I'll continue to do that. Yo, Bananakin, you know, you got to breathe from the lungs, otherwise you won't have much fun. I'm trying to make jokes, I try to make puns, like the river that will run. You know you gotta keep inhaling, then you gotta keep changing. Cause if you don't inhale, there's no way that the breath could escape, then you gotta exhale. It's like a big rest hail. You know when the ice might fall from the sky, you might lie and then close your eyes. Don't you like to sleep inhale? Don't you like to read some braille? Don't you like to breed the whale? I know you like to breed whales cause some kind of marine ecologist has all that kind of reproductive knowledge, and sometimes you got to make more whales. And there's only one way that can happen. Some kind of whale slatin. Well, it fits some kind of pattern. This shit is haphazard. I'm just saying, that's how you get more whales. Look, Snowflake sent a turtle. And it's like moaning Myrtle. And I'm sitting on the perch, so I'm like the goddamn William Churchill. Because the turtle's like a tortoise. It's like a turtle, but with more fuss. Cause if I'm living on the Galapagos, you know that I'll never reach my toes. I sit in rows, and I like to keep it flowing, like the river in the Jordan. Fuck. Alright, more random words. Midbowl has a bowl of yarn. Sometimes we like to stitch on the farm. And that's how we keep our arms in sleeves. Otherwise it's just leaves with no clothes. And you never know, you might get real cold. When it's not summer, it's gonna be winter. There's nothing to do but to sit in and play board games and play songs, and then you know you won't last long. You gotta get the fabric and establish some patterns so that you can capture all of the thermal energy that you need to stay lean and mean in the middle of the sleet. You gotta keep warm when it's getting cold out, and when you got no bed, might use a fold out. If you got a guest, just use your old bed. Just use the couch, or just lay your head upon the very carpet. Or if you haven't got carpet, put your head right on the marble. That was kind of okay. Snowflake says they're high. No way. I can't believe it. I couldn't dream of this season. But whatever gives release, kid. Okay, that was okay. I don't know what that image is meant to be. Alright, Midbowl did a star.
Window.
Alright, let's do a rap about a star. You know that the motion of the stars is like the movement in your arms, because everything's connected. The mathematical vectors. I like to keep intentions in line, or I'll reject them, because astronomically, you know that the zodiac is toppling, because with the 13th zodiac, Ophiuchus, it makes the first 12 into liars, because it's complicated. From Virgo to Cancer, it's like a cosmic dance, because you know it's all connected. With the gravity infected, 4 forces enforcing this order. Like a brick and mortar, because the physics is inflicted, it's rigid. There's no way to break it or slip from its grip. So we're all captured in it. That's physics, kid. That's the stars, like Alpha Centauri. Because I'd like to stay high. And like the stars rise if you close your eyes when it is the night. Like the Milky Way. Like rising hay at the end of the day. Because when you start a fire, there's smoke. And when there's Palpatine, there's Snoke. That is the way of the Star Wars. That's why I brought up Snoke, because he's in Star Wars. So you know it was a good pun, but I'm not as good a rapper as Big Bun, because I'm just doing this for fun. Because you gotta walk before you run. That's why I'm rapping badly, because you do it bad to get sandy. Like I was in SpongeBob, I was a marsupial living in the... I'd like to reduce the chute, so I gathered the loot. It's a moot point. Like I was an ant at Fangorn, and I was trying to get all of the ants together in any weather so that we can bring down Isengard. I rhyme hard, and Lars did a fire truck, and I might rake some muck, and I'll say fuck, because the fire is rising too high. How can we put it out on this night? I might have to rise up and get the fire hose so that I can save my hose. My hose are gonna be burned by this fire, so I've gotta save them. I'll get the fire and erase it until there is simply no flame. We need all of the chemistry that we need to keep the flame secreted, and it's secretly erasing the demons. I fear them because the fire is taking the CO2 out of the wood, and it's making plumes of smoke. I know this by rote. I learned this in Lote. I'm like dust. I'm like a moat. I'm sailing the smoke like I'm a boat, because I become the smoke and I rise with it. I go into the sky with it, because I become a spirit. I'm not my flesh, I am its mirror. Because sometimes we're just a soul, and we never grow old. Because after the end of life, what is left but light? That is only right. We rise into the sky and we join the stars at the end of the night. It's like God came down and took a bite out of our soul. That's why we never grow old. It's like a stone that becomes a boulder and unfolding like origami, overflowing with the blows of the knowledge for which I forage with the porridge. We're gonna change the rhyme, this is going nowhere, but cheers Midjourney. That's really cool. You're working on your astronomy PhD. I like to stay lean with the PhDs, sharing knowledge. I like to spit my thesis. That's why I release this, because sometimes academic peerage is the only way to fear this. We gotta share the knowledge, or else we'll have to forage in fucking JSTOR or PubMed. I'm not dead. That's why I try to share the knowledge. The Starverse? Yeah, well, it wasn't my worst. Lars says you should freestyle rap at your dissertation defense. I elect to use my defense in rap form, the verses, to perform this event. Alright, 5 more random words. Thanks for joining in, folks. Welcome Bananakin, Midbowl, Lars, Snow. 5 more random words. Sometimes I need to make an application. Sometimes I form a new relation. Sometimes I think I'm in the Matrix. Sometimes I've just got to escape it. Sometimes I'm like Neo, since I was just 5 years old. Sometimes I gotta play blow football. You ever played that? All you need is a little ball and a straw. Then you exhale to make the ball go. You just gotta get the ball in the goal. Then you have performed well. Sometimes I get lonely. Sometimes I stand by the sea foaming. Sometimes the hills are rolling. And when the only company is the sea, you might feel it's just myself and me. Sometimes you might feel isolated, and you might like it later, because there might be more people later. If you reach out, you might find you need help. So if you escape, you're lonesome, you might find you're floating on a greater ocean. Sometimes you achieve what you've chosen. Sometimes you strike blows and you need to escape and lick your wounds. But in good time you'll return, cause together the fire will burn. One twig is not enough, You gotta build a fire, or you'll go to the cemetery. You'll be dead and it'll be scary. Situation will get really hairy, and then you'll be dead and buried. 'Cause we're all skeletons. The flesh is temporary, but the bones are forever. That's the structure under the ether. I need this, I fear this. Sometimes we're heathens. We're heathens if we don't believe this, but it's drawing nearer, 'cause you know the Reaper is rising on high, and the scythe is rising, and I might find that in good time I'm like a pirate on a pyre, and I'm lying 'cause I'm not a pirate, but I am on a pyre, that is the truth, and I would not abuse the sacred responsibility of this booth, because I am responsible, and I'm on top responsible. What rhymes with responsible? Responsible, impossible task for which I am set. This role for which I was elected. This thing that I've detected. This trestle I've erected because I am a sailor. I like to go to hail. I am the hail because I am hating. I'm rising like I'm rising my sails. 5 more. Okay. Alright. 5 more random words. Sometimes I need a new incentive to make my mind get inventive. I take what I have and I will rend it. I'll take the straight and bend it because I got to reshape my brain. Otherwise I'll always rhyme the same way. That's why I use 5 random words, so that I can make my mind unfurl, because otherwise it's representative. The copying is endless, kid. I'm like a fucking mentalist, because I can see the spirits inside your head. 'Cause I can see ghosts floating through the room like moats, sailing the seas in boats. That's what you call a ghost ship, and if you can't find it, it is so shit. And if you smoke a joint, you'll get so lit. And if you write a good rhyme, you'll get bit. And then there will be gorillas in the mist. You might say that that is a myth. I say it's the fucking truth, kid. Because I'm so lucid. I'm like Gary Busey. 5 more random words. Improve your posture. This Gnostic knowledge that I am dropping. I'm no imposter. I know ergonomics, so improve your posture. If you are hunching your back, then make it straight. Otherwise, you'll soon be hunched and late. That will be your fate if you don't fucking sit up straight. Improve it, or you will lose it. You gotta use it, or you'll abuse it. You've only got one body for your whole life, so you gotta hold on to it tight. You gotta look after yourself, because that's the highest of wealth. You've got finite time, and every minute that you waste will never come back. You'll be made into paste, like the fucking horse hooves. You'll lose, you'll turn into the bottom of the... Haven't got a word for that. Anytime, Lars. Because I am the minister, and I'll administer whatever chemistry is needed for this sinister mixture that I'm inflicted. I'm making potions. I'll turn it into lotion with the motion. The flotation, I'm erasing and I'm ever changing. This chemistry is endless here, so I'm gonna send it to the hemisphere. I'm gonna make both hemispheres go fearing this voice that I'm leering. I'm appearing and then I'm disappearing. I'm always nearing, then I'm going afar. It's like a ship in the yard. I go hard. 5 more random words. Sometimes I use words to describe it. Sometimes I don't, and I am ever lying. Sometimes I'm searching, I am finding, but always you know I'm ever rising. That was okay. Anytime, happy to give some folks some ergonomic tips. It's important. You've only got one spine, you know? You gotta look after your spine. 5 more random words. I'm gonna slice. I'm gonna get this apple into many... Fuck. That should be easy. Slice. It appeals to my eyes. So I need what I might eat in all good time. I like to get the apples and the bananas. I'm like a goddamn fruit farmer. I'm like Clive Palmer. And I might harm ya, cause I get the billboards, make 'em so yellow. When you know I'm a strange sort of fellow. But if you get a headache, you'll feel the tension. And I might have to mention that this rhyme is endless. And I'll bend it, I'll break it, I'll rearrange it and change it. If I'm gonna eat, you know I will eat grapefruit. And it's painful. If I throw a grapefruit at your face, you might have to hate me. But I just gotta make change. And if it's a food fight, then I might start the night with an apple to your eye. You're the apple of my eye. That's why you've got a black eye. I threw an apple at your eye. It's not right, but that's what I do. I gotta throw the fruit, cause otherwise this party you'll be boring. That's why I'm throwing oranges. It's how I like to rhyme. I like to keep my spine all nice in line, cause the alignment of your spine is final. 5 more random words, there is a shortage, which is a shame. I'm feeling moreish. There is a paucity of the forms that I need, so how will I achieve my dreams if there's a shortage? I am like some kind of shortage. Porous. I'm porous, so how will I achieve order? If I need some new knowledge, I need a trainer, or else I will blame you. I'm like a steam train and it'll never be ablated, never changeless. This deranged brain is causing changes and it's ageless, so I'll rearrange it. 5 more random words, and if I need to do something, I'll get a result. And if there's a hurdle, you know that I'll vault. I'll do it without a pole or with a pole, but I will vault and I'll stick it in a vault. All of the treasure and loot that I choose, it'll go in the vault, it is secure. So you know I will never lose it. Sometimes I like to sail north to the Arctic. I'll get my car and park it. And you know I'll never harm it, because I will keep it in armor. I've got an armored car up to the Arctic. And I'm a farmer. I got all this lard up in my larder. And I'm wearing a warm parka. I gotta wear my warm parka if I'm going to the Arctic, you know. That's important. Lars says, I don't know how many spines they have. I guess that's true. Maybe you're a spine collector. Maybe you've got a library of spines. I don't know. The limelight, spines, alright. Starting a fight. You got so many spines, it's not right. You got spines piled up to your eyes. They're blocking the light. So many spines in the fire that's starting a fire. Cause these dry spines are the perfect spark for new light. You're starting a pyre of spines, what might be burned in this fire. But at least the posture's good. You'll never have to fall to the roots, because the roots are strong. It's in the darkest places that the roots grow long. You're like a spider with 1,000 spines. I can't believe my eyes, you're a spider of spines. I'm so frightened on this dark night. 5 more random words, I'll call a council. I'll call it to the mountain. I'm gonna gather around the fountain. And I'm gonna have to shout, cause if I need to be heard, all these elven dickheads are gonna hear my words. We gotta take the ring to doom and to throw it in. Otherwise we'll be covered in sin. We gotta kill Sauron. You goddamn morons. Why aren't these elves listening? They're all making lembas in the kitchen. It's more important than food. This is about a war for the good against evil. Can't you see the gleam of Sauron's eye to seize on all of the needs of Middle Earth? So give it a wide berth. I'll leave them in the lurch, and I'll make my own perch. Did I mention I'm a bird? I'm a parrot. That's why they don't hear my words. I'm a parrot at the Council of Elrond, and I know that Middle-earth does not have long. Because Sauron is marauding. These fucking moronic Mormons. These Mormon elves are just putting you up shelves. These elves just like decoration, interior design, they are so elated. Their furniture is always changing. Gil-galad is in a hat. Gil-galad has such a massive hat. How's that? Why does Gil-galad have that hat? It is ridiculous. He's playing Quidditch, kid. Gil-galad is playing Quidditch. He hits the baton, it's never missing. He's got the ball, he throws it through the ring. He's such a good at flinging the quaffle. I would think that it's impossible, but he throws the quaffle like it's a goddamn waffle, lubricated with butter so it'll waft on the wind. It's an aerodynamic fling. It's like a frisbee made of waffle, kid, and maple syrup will make it glisten. Yeah, dropping new Tolkien lore. Did you know that goblins believe in Mork? It's true. Because 40k is connected too, because Gork and Mork from 40k are the leaders of the Goblin Way. Deep in the dark of Moria, they're forcing it for order, because the Balrog likes to wear hogs. He wears pigskin masks on his face. That's why he can never change, because of his porcine face. The paucity of truth in here is lucid here. It's useless here, because in the dark you can't even see the sharks. Did I mention the sharks? Cause you know about the Watcher in the water, the thing with all the tentacles and the maw. It's awful, it's the thing that grabs Frodo. It almost pulls him down to the ozone. So that's why the Watcher in the water is surrounded by more than just water, because the sharks are creating shadows in the dark. Because the shark fins in the Watcher in the water are so delicious as they are swimming. The sharks have lasers to rearrange your face, cause it's kinda crazy. But that's what Tolkien didn't want us to know. It was too real. We weren't ready, you know? That's what Tolkien did. That's what Tolkien did. Alright, let's do hip-hop trap. Actually, no, that one doesn't say it's free. Let's do this again. 5 more random words. Cause you know, I like to live on an island. That's when my mind is at its finest. So that's where I'm residing. That's where my brain is really firing. Cause you know, my mind is never tiring. Cause you know, the size is so high, see? I got the biggest brain in the world. That's why my frame can't support my curls. How can I do curls with such a big arm? It's like trying to pick up a whole farm. I need more goddamn lard so that I can rise up this arm. I need more calories so that I can see, so that I can rise, so that I can meet. I drink the meat, I eat the meat. I like to lead. I never follow cause I'm not a sheep. I never bleed. I'm less like a sheep, more like a wolf, see? Cause I like to leave and I like to lead, but I never believe cause I'm a skeptic, see? 5 more random words, I go to college so that I can gather some real scholarly knowledge. And I make no apology for what I can see, cause I'm residing in hate. And sometimes I say, just the tip. What do I mean? I mean the pencil tip. I mean the pen nib. That's what I mean when I say just the tip, because I use protection. What do I mean? I like when when I say I use protection, I mean that I like to avoid infection. And I like to avoid when women are expecting. I avoid expecting and infection by using protection, cause otherwise I might find a new pest. And then I will never rest, If you've got pests in a sensitive area, you might feel it's pretty scary, so you better use protection. Or else just reject it. Because I guess abstinence is a reasonable way to abstinence packages of the captured facts that I'm enraptured. I'm enraptured with the facts that I have captured. So if you choose abstinence, that's what's happening. 5 more random words. You know you want to turn up the volume because these rhymes will get so rude and a little bit lewd because you know that we're gonna undress. Sometimes we've got to take off the tresses and second guesses. You never want to mess with this message because I like to live upon the sea. Sometimes I like to keep skinny and lean. Sometimes I like to stay green and mean because you know that I'm a fucking ogre, see, and I have this list of demands. 1. Never high five my hand. It's a pretty specific request, but you know, if you want to high five me, be my guest. Okay, that was alright. Alright, have we got any more suggestions in the live chat? I like rapping your suggestions, but 5 more random words. Sometimes, if I'm not short, I'm long. Sometimes I like to keep it long. For some reason, I'm just thinking bong, but that's not right. It's so wrong. If I'm gonna stink, I might pong. If I've got a ping, then I pong. Table tennis, see? Anyway, sometimes I've got the confidence. Sometimes these rhymes are monstrous. Sometimes they're just preposterous. Sometimes I've just lost it, kid. But Bananakin says peanut. He's like the nut Jesus. It's like the pieces of Reese's. It's like we're inflicting the semen. I mean sailors. You know the guys who go around on sails, kid. They like to sail the 7 seas. They like to fight meaningfully because I am marine. That's why I'm a sailor. And I'm not getting lazy. I'm like a laser because I'm focused. It's like I had wrote this, but no, it's all improvised. It's all coming out of my mind, up through my spine, up out my eyes. That's how I write, cause this is live. It is like a particle, or is it light? Is it more like a wave in flight? Because physics has so much might. It's coming up through my eyes, and Lars says dinosaur. A Jurassic carnivore. Because I like to roar. Cause I got small arms fire like a liar, like a dinosaur in the mire. It's trapped deep in the bog, so you know that it'll fossilize for a long time, and then it'll be dug up archaeologically, so logically it's impossibly Gnostic, see? It's like it's fostering knowledge, it's scholarly. In the university, I rehearse the heat and I mirthfully mirthfully because it causes laughter, and I might have to. I'm a pastor, and I might outlast you because I'm making pasta. And my carbohydrates arrive late, but they are so damn delicious. I'm inflicting stitches, and you know my missus enjoys my pasta like I was a rasta. 5 more random words, I'll build a rocket. It'll rise so high you'll never stop it. I keep a picture in a locket so that I will never be forgotten. And the image is never lost, even if the world is covered in frost. Cause I am such a fucking boss. I'm a stone with no moss. Okay, that was pretty good. I feel like we're getting better at this. I feel like we are slowly improving, and that's my goal. I want to do it badly for long enough that I can do it well. And I don't know how many hours or how many attempts that'll take, but I want to slowly try to get a little bit better. 5 more random words. When I got a banana, I will have the peel. And when I've got armor, I am real steel. Because when I've got the steel, I will never fear. I'm like Jessica Biel at the end of a pier. I'm like the last monologue in King Lear. I'm like a rocket with a deer. I'm like Bambi and I'm like a seer. Cause you know I see the future. I have a vision and it's so lucid. I'll disabuse you of your views, it's truth, kid. And I'll never fuse it, I'm gonna refuse it. I'm gonna refuse the fusion, that's why I stay so lucid. Like Gary Busey, I always choose it. Cause sometimes things occur periodically. And you know, it means a lot to me. That's the kind of feeling I am fostering. That's why I make no apology. Sometimes I had it and I lost it. Sometimes it is a rocket, and it is rising, and then it falls. This awful order to the mortar, and sometimes I gotta find an in, or otherwise I'll never achieve a win. If I throw it out, it's in the bin. It'll be rescinded, and it's inflicted upon this earth. What is its worth if we throw it out? Does it really disappear? Is that what that's about? Or does it remain? Does it stay as a stain? Does it remain ingrained this way that we behave? Is it sustainable or will it remain? Will it lay in wait for the day, for it to rise again and to find a new way? We gotta change, or else the tide of waste will rise up to our eyes, or we'll never escape. We'll be buried in this remains, in this crematorium state. We gotta ablate it, we gotta change it, or the flames will keep on rising. Rising on high, and it's firing like a pyre. We're stuck in a mire, so we gotta rise to escape. We're gonna need an angel, or it's gonna get painful. We'll rearrange it and arrange it, cause we're gonna need an angel. Cause like Michelangelo, I will stand for those that like to hand up flow. I'm gonna find 5 more random words, because if we agree, you know that it is mutual. Mutual? What rhymes with mutual? Mutual, future, mutual. I'll choose it, I'll disabuse it. It's mutual, it's beautiful. Mutual, beautiful, it's lucid too. I reduce it to metamucil. It's mutual, so I will refuse it. It's lucid, it is mutual, and if I have to ask, I might plead. I'll have to stay lean, cause I can believe that the bleats of the sheep are rising with heat, and I will achieve the mind of my dreams. And if I keep failing, I'll just keep trying. And if I can't find the truth, I'll never lie. I'll never lie down on the dirt. I'll never find what I am searching for. So I abhor any attempt to remind the door of its state, if it's open or closed. I will carry the load, because if it is broken, we'll find a doctor. If it is found, it'll be lost. 5 more random words. Lars, like, eats the pasta, and you know the pace is getting faster. It might get after, is what happens after before. Fuck. Alright. We need to change the beat. What was... Alright, we're gonna change the beat. We're gonna use this playlist. Let's do that. Alright, let's use this. 5 more random words. Reset. Try again. Alright. Alright. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. When I make the pasta, you know I gotta stir. Otherwise the pasta might be burned. That's a lesson that I have learned. And sometimes I need to be reminded or refined that the recipe might not fall in line. Sometimes I find myself in a bind, and then I'm just eating dead pork rind. And that's not nice, so I gotta remind myself to make the recipe at an extreme heat, at the appropriate number of degrees, and sometimes I receive a warning. And you know I never force it. I've got a paucity, so I might need the heat to retreat. That's why I keep it bleeding and leaching and escaping edicts. I need to escape the edict so that you and I can remain free. But making pasta requires some cutting. That's why I am keeping the mustard. That's why I am chopping the lunch kid. Because it is established that the teeth might be gnashing. So we better not get rash, otherwise we might burn the mash, and we need new potatoes stat. That is the salvation to make us salivating. We're gonna be so delicious, like Pavlov's dogs looking forward to dinner. And you know, I'm not like I'm wizard, I'm like Rincewind living at the vision. Like a mirage, I'm seeing far, and there's wealth in my arms, and it might not be likely, but I might be on fire, see? That's why we are residing. Like a new kind of that's fucked. 5 more random words. Sometimes you just have to be patient. Otherwise it'll change, kid. We're rearranging, and sometimes I experience grief. Sometimes I just have to weep. Sometimes you don't hear a peep, but that doesn't mean my heart doesn't bleed. Sometimes people suffer in silence. Sometimes you are silenced by violence. And it's not right, but sometimes that's what's in people's minds, 'cause sometimes it's baked into our genes. And I'm not talking about denim, see? Sometimes that makes us weep. What the DNA keeps. Generational trauma. Bordering on awful. It's not right, but that's our biological inheritance. I'm better than the evidence. From the sky down to the sediment. Because I am a resident of a higher place than the tenement in which I'm dwelling, kid. That's how it be. There's no escaping the rhyme or these beats. That's why I am finding this nice heat. And I am residing with my feet. I'm stamping until my feet will bleed from the toes to the soles of my feet. Banana Kim says a soldier, a helmet, and you know I'm getting older, and then a unicorn. I don't see the storm, but you know the storm is getting closer, so I need a mount to carry me over. A unicorn is a mythical creature, but we need a real leader. That's why I will never have a seizure, because I got a helmet. It is a keeper of my brain inside my pain. That's why I stay in my lane. Yeah, alright, that was okay. Let's keep trying. Let's keep trying. New beat, 5 random words. That sounds a tiny bit loud. Yo, sometimes I try to be reliable, or else I will be pliable. Sometimes I try to keep the fire, but sometimes it escapes 'cause it's lighter, and it rises higher than my mind could ever be inspired by, and it just keeps on rising, and I can't see the mind of my lighter. That's how I try to relate, or I'll never escape. And the armor is plate, and at the end of the day, that is the facts of the economist. That's the knowledge I'm dropping here, and it's like it's impossible. I'm rostered on, and that's why I got to make a treaty, otherwise I'll never see in 3D. And you know I'm so fleet, even if I am trudging through sleet. Neither rain or snow could ever stop me about this message, kid. And that is why I keep this letter inside envelopment. or in an envelope. I don't know the way that you like to say that, fast or slow, whether hot or cold, whether left or right, by day or night. I keep it in the bracket. I won't accept no havoc. I keep it on the rack, kid. That's why I'm not lacking. 5 more random words, I find transport. Otherwise this is not even sport. It's like a king against a lord. It's like Tyrion against Maud. 'Cause that's the identity. That is what you meant to me. And I am reckless here. 5 more random words by the hours. Every minute is giving me the power. And the sound is resounding. That's why I gotta keep it louder. Before we gotta speak, you know we gotta breathe. Otherwise we can never achieve heat. Otherwise we won't find the beat. I reside with heat, and sometimes I got a hand of clubs, or an ace or spades, or sometimes not much. Whether it's a full flush, or just a pair, we've got to bear what we've got. Otherwise we'll be lost in fog, or otherwise we'll fall from the log like a goddamn dead frog, and then we won't last long. Bananakin sent a scooter. If you got a scooter, you better not lose it. Otherwise you won't be able to get around town, and you'll never be found. Otherwise you'll be stuck in place. You'll have no way to escape. That's the importance of transport. That's why you are a lord of transport with your nice scooter. You should never refuse it. You should never abuse it. Remember that you've got to choose it. You got to keep it maintained. Otherwise your scooter will never win a race. It'll never keep the pace. You'll never win first place. 5 more random words, I'm feeling stress. And I'll never accept less. Otherwise these tresses are making me second guess it. And I might resent it. By my own inventions. This retention that I'm inventing is causing inflections to change. Alright, 5 more random words. I don't think that was a good beat. I think this one was okay. Alright. Let's use this one. 5 more random words. Let's try and do it good. Yo, sometimes my rhymes will get dramatic. That's when I'm causing havoc. The mic will pick up static. And you know I never lack it because I have it. I'm like a damn rabbit. I got so much pace. I am like it's static. I'm erratic, but I back it. I'm gonna push it to the ends of the map, to the ends of the map, to where the ice wall stands. Because you know the flat earth is surrounded by frozen dirt. Otherwise the seas would fall off their edge, and then gravity would never end. How else could you expect the spheres on Earth to exist? I have some concerns that the world might one day be burned. 'Cause what if the sun falls out of the sky, and then it never again would rise, and it'll be a pie of light on the dirt, right on the firmament of Earth, and then we'll all be burned. We will all be murdered by the solar waves. I like to keep the hay, like to keep it rising by the day, 'cause photosynthesizing rye is how I like to dine. I like the whole grains, there's no way to escape the carbohydrates at the start of my day. That's why I like to rise the hay, and I like to find armfuls in bales. Sometimes we need a troop. I choose it, I never will abuse it, because I'm so lucid. Too much, then reduce it. If I have a debt, you know what I owe. You know that I will carry this load. I will find it in the loam. I will uncover the load. L-O-D-E, it's like a mineral. It's like an individual. that is structured harshly, and that's why you know it's so at such a party. It's like an ore that's a party because it is glittering and shimmering by the light of the stars. 5 more random words. Sometimes you just got to perform a test. That's how we do science, it's an experiment. Sometimes you gotta strip the fur to make a hide so that you can hide in the night and stay warm with the warmth of the furs. There's a good rapper called Murs. Sometimes my cat, it purrs. Sometimes my dog, it learns. But sometimes I need to make a summary, or I will be under heat. It's like the London scene. It's like the monotony of this knowledge, and I'm dropping heat. And in summary, there's a lot of these memories. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. 5 more random words. If I was a ghost, you know I'd haunt you. You know that I would never force you. You know that I would never bought. You know I'm not a horse, but I need the motivation to keep it all upon rotation. I'm feeling some elation. The pencils I'm erasing. One day, you know there'll be a flood. You know we'll all be drowned in the mud. You know that the water will rise, there'll be no over, we'll be under it, and there will be no light by this dark night. You know we will have insufficient might when the tides will rise like the lunar lander up on high. And you know we'll have to throw all of our possessions into the rose. It's pretty gross. Alright, I think we're just running out of energy at this point. Alright, I want to give it one more burst of quality, an attempt at quality, and then we'll wrap this up. 5 more random words. Sometimes I get beaten black and blue, and I will choose a Pikachu. Otherwise, I might lose. Otherwise, I might achoo. I just did a sneeze. I guess I've got a virus, see? Maybe I require a vaccine to capture me or capture you. I pity the fool who doesn't use all of the tools. I never lose because I like to choose when I get black and blue. Bless you, says Bananakin. Thank you for your nice words. Gesundheit. Yeah, alright. Sometimes I need refrigerators if I might eat my food later. Otherwise it'll change and it won't be edible. Otherwise there might be some fungus under my porridge. It's gross, kid, but there's a conspiracy. Conspiracy. What rhymes with conspiracy? Conspiracy, empirically. Empirically, this conspiracy is... Conspiracy, empirically, lyrically, I'm a spiritual, lyrical, miracle individual making a conspiracy. So listen here to the hate I'm spitting here. I guess that's what rhymes with it. Bananakin says that a monkey, maybe it is Harambe. I don't know what kind of primate it is, but my mate is a monkey because orangutans are so fun, man, because they are orange and they have big hands. They can roam in the trees or in land, and that's why it's my favorite man, the orange man who likes to live in the trees, and he eats bananas and is pleased. So that's why he's so happy. Monkey is smart, and he's reading a map because monkeys like to navigate, so I will adopt one and I'll call him Colin. Sometimes it stacks up, accumulation into a collection. I'm electing to resent the endless piles of this accumulation is strange, and the day is so great. That's why I'm integrating the early with the late, the night with the day. Ha ha ha, it's a bit of laughter. It's like a pasture. It's like a landscape with so much hay rising through the day. 5 more random words, I plead mercy. I need you to excuse me so I can leave through the mercy, Percy, and I am the master. And the walls are all plaster, and I must rhyme harder, or I will be pardoned for the mercy, or my car might get impounded, and I might have to spit this louder. Cause I like the sound of the drum on the powder, and if it all goes wrong, you know we'll protest. We will accept no less. That's why it is a success when people get arrested, because the investment of textures are what I resent at the end of it's always the last one that I fuck up, because sometimes I get deprived of rhymes, and sometimes it falls like slime at the Nickelodeon Awards, and I can't form the right kind of order, so 5 more random words and start it over. Cause you know I'm like a rodent, and I'm traveling the ocean, cause I'm a nautical rodent. Yeah, I'm not slow, man, because I like to keep it all inside the traffic. It's automatic, causing havoc more than acting. This is reality, man. And it's no mystery what you're missing here. It is simply a hemisphere. It is festering and the rest is here. I'm suggesting that your defeat is endless, see? It's no feat for me to cause your defeat, because you're so fucking weak. Your rhymes are so weak, so your defeat is imminent. And I'm so eminent. It's evident that the sediment of this tenement, I will rise like a revenant. And sometimes I like marmalade, sometimes jam. Sometimes I put it in my hand, and it runs down onto my flan. And that's how I eat breakfast, man, because this interface is so great. It keeps the audio without no latency. I like to see the audio in real time, see? That's why I'm residing here. 5 more random words, I leave no trace. You can't see me by the day or the night. I'm such a fright on this damn silent night, because the hierarchy is so startling. Even when I'm farting, even when seas are parting, even like Moses exploding the army, because sometimes I just have to smile. In the face of the dire fires, I just have to smile. When there's a pile, when there's the slime, when there's the flies crawling from eyes, I just have to smile. I just have to smile. Amidst the spies, amidst the eyes, whether the push and pull, you know I rule. I sit on a stool, right by the pool, enjoying the sunshine, it's so right. On this warm summer night, I just have to enjoy the sky and the light from above as the stars shine. Everything is right, everything's okay. At the end of this day, I just have to sway with the motion of the universe around my... and I sway. I can see the wolves bay, but it's okay, because the stones will stay and protect us from this dark day, because we all make our contributions according to our means. We are choosing to pool our resources, and you know that collectively there's more, kid. Because by cooperation, we are maximizing our relation. And I am unfazed by the Bayesian equation. 5 more random words, I'm in a cage, and you know that I'll find the key and I'll escape. And you know I never laze, cause I've got the motivation to erase all of the chains. You know that I'm gonna break them. You can't keep me here, because I'm seeping through all of the specters, and I'm electing to start this inflection. And you know I'm in the red zone. And you know that I am gonna phone home. I'm like E.T., that's what you mean to me. So I will communicate electromagnetically. And I'm like an alien, and I will explain how I am unfazed by the shape of the geraniums through which I'm escaping, because the flower bed is a powerful head through which I escape, because I can communicate through all plants. I'm like Poison Ivy in the comics, man. I can control plants, and I can eat flans, and I've got plans to escape this place. 5 more random words. Improvised rap, random words. Sometimes I speak loud, sometimes I mutter. Sometimes I like to eat chunder. That might sound weird to you, but don't fuss it. You gotta try it before you can... Alright, Bananakin says elephant. Could an elephant beat a penguin? Sometimes I think that it could end it pretty easily. That's what you mean to me, because an elephant is just so damn massive. It could take the penguin and just crash it. It could stomp on the penguin and mash it, so it would not last. So the elephant versus the penguin, it'd pick it up and bend it. The elephant would grab the penguin with its trunk and put it in a funk. It'll grab it like a big lunk. It'll smash it like a dumb punk. But you know what? The penguin is endless, because the penguin has a whole family, and the penguins are ambling until the elephant will be shambling. I might be rambling, but the fact is the penguin has so many allies on which it can call until the elephant will roll into a ball, because the penguins are just gonna peck it. And the penguins are reckless, and penguins are feckless. The elephant will be dead, because the penguins will peck its head, because all the penguins will swarm it, and they will all pitch in for the effort until there is no more elephant. The elephant has big ears, so you know that the elephant knows fear, because the penguins will leer, and the elephant will feel the deep fear. Will the elephant's heart keep on beating if the penguins come up and are bleating in those big ears? The elephant is sensitive, and the penguins, they are endless, kid. The elephant will be penitent when the penguins defend their... the defense of the penguins, it's endless. I resent this suggestion. Because, man, Attenborough has nothing on MC Rad Rant. Yeah, I have to agree with that. That's just facts. So now I'm gonna relax, and 5 more random words. Expectations are exceeded. Failure? I'd never dream of that. So I'm gonna have to rewind, because these rhymes are so tight, and when I get a sponge, you know I'm gonna squeeze it. If I have faith, you know that I believe it. If I was a sheep, you know I wasn't leading, cause I am a wolf, and this is the season for the fucking canines to get it so right, for the canines to gnash on pork rind. By the day or in the light or by the night, you know that I'm gonna find everything I destroy will be abolished. And you know I like to eat my porridge. And you know I am always foraging for the knowledge that's Gnostic, kid. And you know that I feel it. And bananas, I will peel it. And sometimes I like to see it in any goddamn season. 5 more words, it's a goddamn shame. Sometimes shit is just really lame, and I don't know who I can blame. It's just a fucking goddamn shame. But sometimes I will break the chains. I will break the reins, and I will let the horse ride free. Sometimes that what seemed right to me, and whatever material you need, I can provide it. It will be right whether you need the metal. I won't meddle. I will just smell it. Alright, different beat. Let's try a little more. Yeah. Thank you for the elephants versus penguins suggestion, Bananakin. That was a good one. Random words. If I don't fight, you know that I will resign. And then that's the end of this life. Sometimes I only get it once, otherwise we might go under where I reside, and I might have to rhyme in lines. And if there's no light, why do I have eyes? And if I'm so small, why is there size? And if I have no teeth, why do I bite? And if I have no arms, why do I fight? Why is the world imperfect? Why is there a furnace? Why is there no cold when I am so old? Why is there a fireman pole if I cannot climb it? Why can't I reside on this climate? So I need a title like Esquire or Sir or Her Majesty or His Grace. Why can't I reside in a higher place? Why is everyone excited about this coronation? It's inflaming this nation. But should we really be blazing it? It's so ridiculous. I am ashamed of it because sometimes we put them in an oven. Like Hansel and Gretel in covens, because you know that the witch eats children, and you know that she's so chill, son, because the witch is sipping on lithium at the end of the... lithium. Individual mission is to sip lithium, and sometimes the witch takes so many pills because the witch likes to party on her sill. She likes to keep some fun materials that she can seize on to deteriorate all of her hates. You know that she likes to lay blame. You know that the witch is full of hate. But you know her fate, because that witch is gonna end in her own oven, and that is the fate of every damn coven. Like my name was McLovin, like I had my own glove on. I will take off the glove and I'll slap you. I will challenge you at the end of noon. You will find your doom, because we'll fight a duel, and it will not be cool for you, because I'm pretty good at duels. I've fought a few in my time, you fool. I know how to take 10 steps, and I know how to do a pirouette with the pistol and hit you. I never miss you, so you know why I'm gonna hit you with my pistol. I don't actually fire a bullet, I just throw the pistol. That's how I pistol whip the kid from five paces. I take your face and rearrange it. And then your name will be preceded by the word late, because you'll be dead. It'll be posthumous or posthumous. I never know how to eat humus. I make it out of chickpeas, so bitch please, you better believe that I'm gonna hit you in the knee. Yeah, hummus rap. Alright, let's do that again. Alright, improvised rap, 5 random words. Alright. 5 more random words. Let's go. If you make an offer, I'll make a counter. I'll write the numbers and I'll count it, because you know I'm a pretty hard bargainer, and I'm harmless kid and I'm armless because I lost my arms when I was in the army. They got cut off by some farmers, and you know I'm not even alarmed by it because I've still got my charms. I might have no arms, but I have some charms, and with my silver tongue I'm full of arms. People give me arms because of my charms, and so I don't lack for palms. I have so many palm trees. I'm kinda harmless here, but I like to sit back and drink beer as the end of the day draws near, and I build a construct because I've got so much funk, and it's not fucked, it's defunct. You know it's broken, you know it's overloaded, but I'm chosen. So this is the motion of the ocean on which I am applying lotion. I'm a bloke, but sometimes I like lotion because it makes my skin so damn nice. It's glistening, it's so fine. You know this is the place where I reside. You know that while the sun rises, somewhere else it is night. Simultaneity is crazy, see? Everything is possible at the same time. Opposites reside at the same time, paradoxically, but I'm toppling all of the locks, you see. I'm breaking the chains and you're gonna escape. Together we will escape into a new place. We will increase the membrane because I'm a sensei, I am a teacher, and you know that I will lead you. I'm not gonna say Jesus, I'm not talking about myself. I'm gonna abstract it, I'm gonna capture the abacus so we can count on the fractions. It's mathematics and I'm causing static, I'm causing havoc and I am erratic, but you know that the facts remain. I don't lack for pain, but that's okay, 'cause we can overcome it. I'm not fussy because it's economics, I'm dropping the knowledge. And you know what I foster? I need to write it down on a roster so that we can inline the possibilities that we need to knead the bread and the dough. 'Cause you know I like the yeast so that the bakery will cause the cheese and the cheddar and the brie, and I like the heat, and Bananakin said the sun. You know that I like to feel the running sunshine down my arms and down my spine through my eyes, but then the knife comes at the moon. It's gonna capture you, it's too soon. How are we gonna feel the moon if it's been broken into pieces? Alright, let's keep trying. Let's continue this moon assault, because did you know that the beat, yo, Bananakin said sun, knife, moon. If I knife the moon, it won't be too good because the cheese will be released from that. It will shoe the cheese, and then there'll be the shoe, or the cleat will drop. You know the phrase when the shoe drops? Because you know it'll be lost. Because if we cut the moon, there'll be havoc too. Because if we get the cheese, if we grate it from the face of the moon, we will lose it. And then the lunar will be disabused of its mass. By the massive matter, it will be captured like a cake batter. We're gonna eat the moon because it's delicious. But that attack is vicious. We should not knife the moon. It's not nice. It should reside by noon or by the lunar time. Whatever kind of moon, we should respect it. I elect to detect this message. I reject it. 'Cause it's not right to cut the moon, or else the moon might cut you. What if the moon stops doing the tides? What if the seas cease to rise? What if the light ceases to shine? Then it'll be a truly dark night without the moon. That's why we should not abuse the moon. I like it too. Why would we fight the moon? The moon is beautiful, and I choose to love the moon, and you should too. Even though it's pretty dusty. Admittedly, it's not very trusting, because if you go to the moon, it might kill you. There's no air there and no food too. The moon is pretty hostile. It's not right. It's kind of hard to survive there. Even if you ride there on a bicycle on a light sphere, however you get there, the moon is not nice to you. So maybe we shouldn't be nice to it. Should we be reciprocal? Should we not be mythical? 'Cause the myths of the moon are often about the goddess or the feminine or the beauty of the moon. So why should we choose to do harm to you, moon? It's not lucid, I don't choose it. It's abusive. So 5 more random words. I'm on a pier, and I can see the seer. The seer is seeing into the future, and the moon is so lucid because the pier is over the waves. That's why the fisherman will change. I'll throw a worm on a hook, it'll come back as a fish. Is that not magic? To capture a fish from a worm, is that not transfiguration of the form? Did they not turn an invertebrate into a perfect fish? Is that not magic? Is that not cryptic or paradoxical? I've lost it. Into the lock? You throw a worm into a lock, it comes back as a cod. That's fucking magic, Ron. 'Cause you know you are a wizard, and to magic I am addicted. I could never evict it. I need sorcery to make the sauce, see? Because I use magic for the cooking. It's so in the kitchen, I'm inflicting a mystical mischief. I'm inflicting magical mischief with my missus in the kitchen. We're making a delicious porridge, and it's the Gnostic knowledge that I'm dropping. You couldn't conceive of the brie that I'm dropping. Alright, 5 more random words. Alright. 5 more random words. Let's try to rap good. Sometimes I need to find room, otherwise I'll never have a loom. How can I make the fabric if I can't capture that kind of havoc? I need 4 rooms, the bedroom, the living room, the dining room, and the finer room. For the finer things, I'd choose to keep them in my castle, 'cause I would never harm you. That's the task that I am farming out. I like to delegate, 'cause at the end of the day I feel the pain, and that's why I need a steam engine. And the engine is mental, 'cause the energy is propelling me. That's why I need so much propellant heat. That's why I generate so much goddamn steam. Because I like to make the seams burst. I like to make it feel hurt. Inside my mind I'm like in a yurt, 'cause I like to build a yurt to reside in. It lets the light in. It's got such good feng shui. It likes to make me sway, and that's why I would never cheat. And if I was a sheep, I still wouldn't bleat. And if I was Norwegian, I would still not wear cleats, not even on my feet. And that's why I like to keep it organized. Everything inside my mind, it's compartmentalized. And that's why I reside on high, even when I'm feeling so fine. And if I have to be frank, the ocean is no place for plankton. I know you like plankton, but the baleen is not lean to me. There's too much baleen sucking up the sea. It's like a Roomba at the bottom of the deep. All of these whales eating the shrimp. It might make us all sink. If we eat too much shrimp, we might have to sink. Because the whales are wailing and failing. They're regaling us with tales of the ages. And if we triumph, you know we are a winner. And if we ride up, we are a sinner. Because everyone's a sinner. The only difference is if the dinner is chicken, or if it's something more shimmering, something not similar. Right? It's a miracle. I'm so lyrical, spiritual, lyrical individual. And you know, sometimes there'll be a storm in the night or in the morn. And you know, there's such lightning, it's kind of frightening. I might have to fight it. I'll fight the lightning. I will fight Thor. Even the hammer on my maw, I'll still be okay, because I will survive the day. Because if I fight Thor, I will feel no force, because I am invulnerable. In what rhymes with invulnerable? Invulnerable. What rhymes with invulnerable? Invulnerable. Tons of invulnerable mulch. Invulnerable mulch. I'm a run. Invulnerable. What the fuck rhymes with invulnerable? 5 more random words. Sometimes I elicit a reaction. Sometimes I capture some traction. Because my tractor has such deep tires. Do I even have to remind you? I've got such a great goddamn tractor. And that's why it's made of elastic. My tractor is plastic. Admittedly, it's not real, it's just a little Tonka toy. But I still feel the ploy, I still feel joy when I play with my little tractor toy. Whatever I enjoy, I will employ, because it makes me feel buoyed up. It achieves flotation, and you know it elicits elation. I'd never change it, I'd never give up my train station. I will like to play with it, because this shit could cause some corruption. Sometimes it causes injunctions, but my unctuous uncle is such a fucknut, and that's why I love him. That's the assessment that I've made, and if I reject it, then I'd have to be laid in wake. At the end of the day, it's where we all lay, but sometimes I feel so much pressure, and I'm sending a message, and I will pressure, and I am not lesser, I am just better, 'cause I am causing a brainstorm. That's why the rain all will fall from the cloud to the door. from the sky into my maw. That's the impulse. Fuck, what rhymes with impulse? That's the result. Impulse. Insoles. I've got an impulse to go buy some insoles so that the posture of my feet achieve the ergonomics that I need. And if I need to light a fire, I'll grab the timber and build a pyre, and then you know the smoke will rise and it will blacken out the sky, and I might have to adopt a nest from the lock, 'cause I like to collect cryptids. That's what keeps me so inflicting hate upon this resistant conduction, like an electrical function, like I was a monkey's uncle, like I was inflicting a puncture, like I had some kind of implement and I was inflicting it upon the system, kid. I like to make some changes, I like to break it, remake it, rearrange it, and when I need to see, you know I need some glasses. And you know I'll smoke and pass it. And I like to make remarks, and sometimes they make a mark and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I float home like a moat upon the ocean. It was as though I wrote it, but no, this is improvised. And that's why Bananakins told lies. Bananakin said pimples, and you know I'm an individual, and it's in the incidental motion, like the ocean in rotation. Pimples is like volcanology, but it's in the skin, you see. It's like molten heat rising, but it's like oil or some shit inside the pores. Could the porosity of this force inside my maw, it's like law and order that I am enforcing, but I will not force it because I am keeping it so positive. That's the nature of the knowledge, kid. It's not real, it's not impossible or possible, it's on top of it, it's beyond it. It's beyond the rules, it's beyond what you thought was fools or not foolish. I'll disabuse you of your views. We've been rapping for like 2 hours, but I wanna do it better. I wanna do it better. 5 more random words like a cucumber. Sometimes I'm over or I'm under. Sometimes I just have to chunder. Sometimes I just like a plunder. Like I was a pirate and I was on the high seas, and I'm not heavy, I like to keep lightly, and I'm not heavy, I am slight, see? Because I am a sailor. I like to hoist the sails and get away. I am never phased because whatever place I'm in can change. I can sail the 7 seas. I can sail them endlessly. And I am mending he because he was broken, but now I'm applying a little bit of medicine. You might call it meddlement, but it is not. It is what's right, it's not wrong. I'm not frightened, I'm strong. I increase the frequency that I need to keep it on heat. That's like sleet or like hail. It's like a strange kind of trail that I am following, through which I'm foraging the Gnostic knowledge that I'm dropping here. It's like the delicious porridge, and I keep using these rhymes, but sometimes I need pence and pennies. And I need a penny. Like I was Carl or I'm Lenny. 5 more random words, that's kind of quaint. It's a little odd, it's a little strange. It's a little old, I feel the pain. But at the end of the day, I will never deter if it is fertile. I liked what rises in the myrtles by the meteor that hurtles. 'Cause I'm kinda churlish, but I feel the burn when I burnish. I like to shine the trophies so they gleam. I like to make them shine so you can see. I like to place the tiles on the Scrabble board, and I will have it, y'all, with my Scrabble skills. It's impossible, it is ill, and sometimes you might think you need a lawyer. Or if you were being a voyeur, or if you were being buoyant, or if you were just loitering. There's so many laws, it's so confusing. Did we write them? Who'd choose this? Who wrote all these damn rules? Am I being a fool? Or should we just have a pool where you can do anything and it's endless, kid? My personal recommendation is that we do what causes us elation. Does that sound strange? Am I being a pain? Am I being lame? I don't know, but I need change. I don't know, but I need flame. I just need the... Okay. Let's find a... Alright, we can do this one again, whatever. 5 more random words. Yeah. 5 more random words. If I need resources, I will supply it. I tell the truth, I will never lie, kid. If I need to move it, I will ply it, because a lever can move any... I'm inspired. I'm never mired. I keep moving, and I am always lucid. I am improving. I'm disabusing you of your views that are useless. 5 more random words. I'm wearing velvet. Velvet. What rhymes with velvet? Velvet on my pelvis. I will sell this because I move like I'm Elvis. I can sing a song. I am pelvis, Elvis, velvet. Like wells of Celsius. It's like a reflection in a mirror. And it might seem like it's nearer, but the reflection is further than it seems. That's just how the silver gleams. I'll give you some autonomy, because it's simple astronomy. There's a lot of hate, there is energy, and I need to keep it fleek. I'm sheening, I'm shining with these rhymes. It's like lines out of a fire, see? Cause we're just playing a game. I don't know the rules, but you know that it changes, and I'm inflamed with hatred. I'm like a stranger at the end of the day. I'm not impatient, I'm patient, and you know that I'll remain. You know that it'll change, but I will stay. 5 more random words, it is incongruous. Like Donkey Kong on top of the Empire State Building. God willing. Because you know that everyone requires respect. From the beginning to the end. Whatever holiday, even Lent. A mental kid eating lentils in the Sentinels at the end of the end. It's like impossible. Alright, changing the rhyme. 5 more random words. Sometimes I try to be decisive. I drive without a license. I say it makes me mighty, but I might just be being an idiot. It's impossible to stay serious. Even if you're getting away, you know it's nearing, kid. Serious, the beerfuls of this earful. I'm giving you an earful, but sometimes reality is not having me. Sometimes I feel it captures me and havoc is happening. It's a reaction to the dissatisfaction that we're having, so you gotta feed it. Sometimes we will retreat and it is nearing. It's like the sky itself is leering. Sometimes it's like we wear a collar. Sometimes like we're chasing a dollar and we've gotta forage this awful order. Like a sausage, but sometimes I try to find a view. Sometimes I try to win and not to lose. I disabuse and I like to move. That's why I'm in this athletic move. 5 more random words, a new beat. Let's try to keep the heat on fleek. Banana Kin in the live chat, giving radio rental emojis. I like to get some prompts for the rap, otherwise I'll be lost like a crab at the bottom of the seabed. You wouldn't believe the heat that I'm retreating from. These thermal vents are increasing, and it's seizing up, and I release the stump because I gotta dig it up from my backyard. Otherwise I rhyme hard in the yard, and my farm is so magnetic, and I'm lacking the effort. Cause I'm getting lazy, I'm rhyming paisley with hay seeds, I'm hasty. I drain heat and so I'm cold. I drain youth and so I'm old. Origami makes a fold. I'm like a lion, I'm bold. And I'm made of flesh. I never end and I never rest. Sometimes I get pent up, so I gotta send a message to my elders. And I fall to a pit. And I eat a fruit and spit out a pit. I don't know why I keep doing homonyms, because you can't hear homonyms, kid. But sometimes I gotta change my goddamn lifestyle. Because I like to ride high. Because I like to fire skies. Because I like to buy chives. You know how how I feel about cheese. Please, whether it's cheddar or brie, I like to eat it. Whether it's yeast at my bakery, I like to eat cheese. Gouda, brie, whatever kind of tasty cheese I need it. I need to seize it. I need to seize the cheese. I'm gonna lead you to the paradise of cheese, because you know that at the afterlife we rise to a place that is higher, and you might find some delicious food inside, in my mind and yours now as well. And that's why Nuko says he's swell, with some nice sunglasses in a well. You gotta dive into the water to find this fashionable order, and sunlight is blocked from your eyes by those nice sunglasses, right? You'll have to pry them off if you tape them on, because sunglasses might fall off if you don't find a way to keep them on. You might have to use some glue or even some gum that you chew. I'm not gonna choose whatever kind of way you apply them to your, whether a noose or some kind of nuisance. I'm clueless, you can choose it. So Mitable says corn. You know that I like order, so I have a paucity of corn, so I gotta force it, I gotta farm it, so I will have armfuls of corn. I think it's also called maize. I'll make a corn maze. It's a maze. I'm ever changing, and you know that the nutritional arrangement of the corn, it's so damn delicious. It is like a cruel mistress, because it's so yellow. It's a strange fellow, but it's got so many kernels. I'm like normal, fighting Garfield in the cornfield, and the high yield of this corn is due to GMO. You don't know? Well, that's the truth, yo. Sometimes it's genetically changed, and sometimes that makes it more great, and sometimes it might make it worse. I've heard that there's IP issues in the earth. It's kind of a complicated issue, and I'm not gonna connect it in this issue of the rap magazine that I'm dropping heat at 1,000 degrees, and Schubert reads, said Frog. We already did Frog. It's sitting on a log. It doesn't take long. It's sitting in a bog. It's amphibious. Can you believe this shit? It's so delicious to eat frog legs, and I might have to eat it in the end, because you know that frogs say ribbit, and sometimes it might use rivets, because a frog might work on a ship, and it might have to repair the slips and the sticks that break into the ship, and the frog amphibian is so delicious, and it's serious about its riveting job. That's why it's riveting on this log. It needs to keep the profit, otherwise the frogs might be lost, kid. Midable says, I don't know what that is. What is that emoji? I see some red inside. It's exploding. Is that like lipstick or makeup or a heart inside some kind of grey bar? I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna go on to Schubert Reads, who says watermelon. Watermelon, it's like a felon of the fruit family, because you know that it's hiding heat. Inside it's red, but outside it's green. It's like a strange fruit disguise. It's designed to deceive the eyes. Are you red or green? Are you real or fleek? It's a curling stone. It's for curling. You'd never believe it's unfurling. It's a Canadian sport. You gotta make it go far or to go short. You gotta land the curling stone on the target. And the target is marked, kid. That's how you're gonna score in this sport. Otherwise you'll need a retort. You'll need to get the fucking gold medal, because you will need to prove your mettle. You need to get on the ice, and you need to turn heads and get eyes if you wanna succeed in this ice in this winter sport, and I'm into it, I'm taught. You know I'll never sell or be bought. You know that I'll never be hard fought. Okay. Alright, that was okay. Thanks for the suggestions, Schubert and Mitebol. Alright, we've got a radioactive symbol from Schubert, and we've got a new beat. So let's see what we can do with this. Sometimes physics is strange. Sometimes particles are rearranged. Sometimes energetically it is always releasing heat. 'Cause sometimes Marie Curie discovered something in the plutonium. It's overrunning with the energy you need, and it might start to inflict some dangerous heat. Because the energy is ionizing, and it's likely to light a fire. It's likely to rearrange the molecules, and it might cause you to act a fool. Because radiation is inflicting changes. It might make you crazy in the brain, see? Because the radiation is inflaming your flesh, and that might cause your life to end. Radiation, it's painful. That's why you need some iodine, so that you can rise and that you don't fall forever, and then it might be endless. Because radiation has a half-life, and it might cause the light to go from your eyes in rapid time. Because radiation is dangerous, and it's in Chernobyl, and it is over. Because radiation is pretty useful. You can make power, you can make louder explosions than humans ever know of before the first day that they blow up. Because Oppenheimer was a pretty hard rhymer, talking about I am become death. Goddamn, man. I am become the destroyer of words. Destroyer of worlds. Oppenheimer, the destroyer of worlds. MC Radio Rental, destroyer of words. It's like an atomic bomb I'm dropping with every bit of Gnostic knowledge. But radiation is always changing. You can never know everything, and that's why we gotta keep studying it. Because the physics is impossible to miss. Mitebol likes to say taco. Well, tacos can be hard or soft. You can eat them in a lock or a loft. Wherever you go, you can roll a taco. Personally, I would prefer a burrito, because burritos are easier to eat. Cause a taco might just fall onto the floor, and I abhor a waste of food. Whether you got the beans or the delicious cheese and everything you need to make the taco fleet or fleek, it's what I need. But Bananakin said there's a comet, and you know that the earth might be lost then, because it's gonna cause great volcanoes, and oh no, it's destroying your home and the dinosaurs, for which it is awful. It's gonna cause mortality, and it's gonna blow up all the dinosaurs, and their forms will be reduced to ash and mortar. Schubert Reed says tornado, and I like to stay slow. That's the danger of tornadoes. They make you go faster than the velocity that you need, so that I like to keep it lean. 5 more random words. My intention is to start some new kinds of infection. My invective is erecting a new kind of height, so I reside on high, and my light is filled with such might that I might have to end the day and start the night. Because you could not reside beside this kind of light that's shining, because it's firing. It's too high, it's too bright, it might just blind your damn eyes. Because Bananakin said alien, and what could be stranger? I'm gonna tame it, I'm gonna tame the alien. It's gonna bend to my will, cause I've got the skill to put it on. I'm gonna fill up the alien with strange flavors, and it's gonna relate to the taco. I'm gonna feed tacos to the alien, explain to him the greatness of my deranged kid. My deranged kid made this taco. It'll convince the alien to join me, because I am like Joyner, I'm like Lucas. This music, I'm disabusing it. I choose to feed the taco to the alien and explain to him. I'm regaling him with tales of the greatness strangeness of the human race, and so the alien decides to join us. Great, we gotta clap some cheeks, so find the hate. We storm Area 51 by the night. By the day, I'll explain the strangeness of the unidentified aliens, the greys or the reptilians. I'm feeling them, we're feeling each other. It's great, kid, because the unity of the galactic species is gonna capture hate, and we're macking on the strange shapes, the shades of the different greys, the alien greys from space. They're gonna teach us F to L. It's so great. We're gonna change all over the strange days. The power of time and space is at our fingertips because of aliens, kid. It's so great that we met our strange friends from the other end of the universe, and the cosmos will not be lost because of our alien friends till the end. We're gonna make a galactic alliance, and I would never lie, I'll never silence my alien friends. We're gonna be BFFs. Schubert reads, said zombie, you know the dead are coming for me. There's a horde of the dead, they're rising and they're coming to eat my brains and my eyes. It's fucking World War Z until the end, cause these zombies just need to be fed. And you know that the zombies see red, they're so angry and they will be bled, because I will fight the zombies with my fists. I'm gonna give some biff, to the zombies, yo, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna beat the zombies at the end of the day. And Midjourney said printer. It's kind of ridiculous that printers are so hard to set up. Why is it not just Wi-Fi, cuz? Why does the ink get so expensive? Why are the costs so damn endless? How often do you even need to print? Every time I print, I say, I would rather lint. I would rather belly button lint than to have to print at the end of this. Print, lint. I wanna bin it. It's like a sin to print because there's only so many trees. Should we cut them down for paper, please? I can't believe the state of these trees. It makes me want to weep and to bleed to see these dead trees. So why do we print all of the strange paper? I don't rate it, I hate it. All of these printers, all of the e-waste, it's deranged. So I got to make change. 5 more random words, rehabilitation. When the trees are gone, we gotta make changes. We gotta plant them, we'll make the saplings. That's what's happening. It's not crap, see, it's making new forests, and the forgotten knowledge that we were dropping, we're gonna find again, because we rise the hens. All of these chickens are just digging through the grass. It's kind of fickle, but it's gonna be okay in the end, cause Midjourney said bicycle, and I'll lend you my bicycle if you need it, but please give it back, cause I need to receive it, cause I need my bike, not a trike. I need 2 wheels, not 3, that's right, because my bike is what gives me the right to ride around town by day or by night. And Schubert reads, said scorpion, I need more of this forceful shit. It's important, kid, because the scorpion will sting, and then you might have to sing, because the scorpion loves musical theater. And you will never fear it, because the scorpion wants to do Moulin Rouge. That's why the scorpion will sting you. And Banana Kid says this chicken equals alpha and omega, and you know that it'll be endless, because this chicken is infinite. I'm inflicting a new kind of system, kid, because the chicken is the god of the earth. You might think that man is the king, but the worth of the man is less than the worth of the chicken. I'm inflicting this ridiculous shit, but it's true, kid, because the chicken is God. Where does the cosmos come from? Not from a man, not from a woman, but from an egg. That's why we're fucked in the head. We should appreciate all of the chicken ways, because you know that's the way to explain all of the way that the universe sways is from an egg. You heard it here, kid. Midjourney says it's a love heart with a Wi-Fi signal above a human. What is this shit that I am seeing? I don't even know what this emoji is, but it seems pretty lovely. Love is kinda humbling. About experiencing something greater than yourself. And you gotta consider what is real wealth. What is real health? Is it really centered on the self, or do you find something greater than personal wealth? Something that you share, something that is a weight that together you will bear. That's the meaning of love. That's the meaning of kisses and hugs. X's and O's are really the flotation that you're sharing, the weight that you're bearing. It's only as a pair that you can bear the weight of life, yeah? Schubert Reed says Stephen Toast. Can you hear me, Stephen? Yes, I can hear you. Clem Fandango. Bloody hell, Clem Fandango. Clem Fandango is like an orangutan. Reading Spanglish.
27 heartbeats.
I'm kinda hangry when I talk to Stephen Fandango, cause there's no way to escape the flow of this hoe. I've gotta find a way to defeat him at blow football. Alright, that was bad. 5 more random words. Sometimes I build a castle, I build a keep, so that I can protect my men and sheep. We gotta put up walls and a gate so that we can rearrange, and so we don't feel the pain by night or day. I will explain the need for these walls to keep us safe, cause otherwise, Bananakin said ninjas. The danger they're inflicting. Ninjas can climb up our walls. Ninjas are smarter than mere force. Ninjas use stealth and perception. That's why they are hard to detect, kid, because ninjas are wearing black. They wear shadows, and that's a fact. How can a ninja be stopped when their shurikens can go through a log? They're so goddamn strong. You can't stop a ninja. You can't stop a minge too, because minge will get in your dogs and then it's a problem and you will be toppled. Schubert Reads says incense. I pay pounds or pence in the holiday of Lent. If I'm playing Gwent, there's a lot of rhymes for incense. I'm incensed. I'm angry. It doesn't make damn sense. And I will fence you. I'll get my sword and I'll detect you. Even if you're a ninja, I will find you and I'll fight you. And maybe I will smile too, because maybe the way to end the conflict is to acknowledge the forgotten porridge. I forgot the porridge and it's fostering bad topics, so I'm gonna make friends with the ninja. Yeah. Alright. New beat, and Miteball says broccoli. Alright, broccoli rap incoming. Let's do it. Miteball says broccoli. Improvised rap, MC radio rental. Press the like button. Let's go. As soon as the goddamn instrumental starts. Come on, Thanos. We need some music. Alright. Sometimes I need to eat vegetables. That's just what's sensible. Cause I have nutritional needs. Otherwise I can't be healthy in my knees. Broccoli has so much nutrition. Broccoli makes my eyes glisten. Without broccoli, I'd be toppling. I'd be forgetting the knowledge because I'm a sausage. I need broccoli. I need meat and vegetables, you see. I need a nice balanced diet. And that is no lie. And I am not lying. And I am inspired. And I'll build a pyre. And I am on fire. Because I need the broccoli to stay lean and mean. Because this green vegetable is mental, kid. Vegetables and lentils are so sensible. That's why I am eating them. Like a fetus on a Peter bridge. That was kinda weird, but that's okay. I'm holy aioli, I'm unfolding slowly, and I am unholy. I am solely on my feet, and that's why I'm not likely to eat aioli on its own. It needs to be combined. In the recipe, I'm inspired, and I'm spitting heat. Holy guacamole, it's an unholy goalie. I'm holy aioli, I'm unfolding slowly. Holy boly, unfolding slowly. I'm rolling towards the endless hill, and I'm like, I'm on fentanyl, and this endless hill is mental still. I'll rend it, and I'll keep it. I will retreat from this bee, because the bee might sting me on my knee, and then the bee will die, and I will cry, and it'll be a bad day for both of us, guys. So please, bee, don't sting me. Just go back to your queen, make some honey, hang out in the hive. I know that bees like to jive, because the bees have a complex dance. Bees have such good dancing pants, and I reprimand the man who would rather sting me than dance in the hive, right? Why would you die when you could jive? There's an easy choice there, right? Bananakin says cows are abducted by aliens. Strange, it's strange. Why would these bovine guys need alien eyes? Why did the greys take away our source of calcium and milk? It's a sin. It's like silk. Why would they take it from the mill? Maybe these aliens need to explain to the cows the true nature of the universe, and they rehearse all of the truths from their purse and reimburse the farmers for the cows by leaving crop circles in the loudness of the earth, and it's girt in water, and it's like bricks and mortar, and the paucity of order is causing chaos. And I lay off the cows because I like vegetables, because broccoli is acknowledging the toppling of the foraging and the sausages that I need to keep me on fleek. Sometimes I rhyme about Cthulhu. Sometimes I like to watch on Hulu all of the documentaries that mention me because I'm narcissistic, see? Oh, come on. Yo, Cthulhu rap on Hulu, man. Because sometimes there are elder gods rising from behind the fog. You might think that it's right or wrong, but I don't care what you think. It's just on, it's off, it's on or off. It doesn't take long because we live in a complex cosmos. Glasnost is not what we want. We gotta keep it opaque, otherwise we'll take away all of the hate from our brain, and we can't even stay. We won't remain because the evil gods will take away what we think we was. We'll be gone because the elder gods will eat the cosmos, and then we'll be lost because the earth will be consumed. And we'll meet our doom, cause Galactus is gonna capture us and drain us like a cactus and cause havoc. I'm rabid, I'm like a mad dog. I'm living up in mad fog. And it's not very strong, but you know that the storm is descending on this bog, on this moss, on this peat bog. You know that it won't take long. If we fall into the mud, we'll be stuck. We'll be deep in a rut, and I fear I'm a runt. I'm like the smallest dog, it doesn't take long. But if you find the right meat and protein you need, you won't be so need to retreat because you'll grow stronger. You won't be a monger like a cheesemonger. That's what I was trying to say. Schubert reads, said goat shower, 'cause you know that I have the power. You know that I can shout louder when I'm inspired by a goat shower. 'Cause you know sometimes it rains goats, and you know that goats don't float. So you better hope that the goat shower does not happen over an ocean, or all the goats will need to be rescued. You know that the boats will have to save them and regale them and take them from the water, or else it will be real awful. So you know that the Coast Guard stays on guard for any kind of farmyard animals out in the Atlantic, otherwise those goats might start to panic. Thank you, Christine, for the encouragement. And Maida Ball for the knowledges of the four-leaf clover. It's like bread comes in a loaf, see? 4-leaf clover, it brings you the luck. You know that a clover will get you out of a funk. And you know that I'm kind of punk because I like to smoke a skunk. If you smoke a skunk, you'll get the knowledge and you will not have to any longer forage. You know that you can put it in your porridge, then the clover will explode you and it's over, man. It's over. You are outstanding. And this rhyme is kind of fucking outlandish, but it's not bland and that's what I'm going for. At least it's not boring. 5 more random words. We want acceptance. We want our life to be endless. We want it to never end, and that's why we never find the sentence that we need at the right steam, at the right degrees of heat to keep me on fleek. And that's why Schubert says compass, and I need a lot of it. Fun is what we require. And I might sing a song on my lyre, like I was a bird, like I was standing firm, like I could never be burned. Like I could never be burned, like I was Icarus, and I was fearing no syllabus, because I can take any knowledge for which I forage, and that's why I make sausages out of the knowledge that I'm dropping. Or maybe I should give a refund. It doesn't take long. Refund. It seems long. But with this pen, I can write any end, or a new beginning, if that's what I'm seeing, if that's what we're nearing. Like I was King Lear. Fuck. We're running out of energy, it's been 2 hours, but I want the power to devour every sound that I am shouting. So that's why I'm still pounding. Bananakin says wizard. Are you a wizard, or are you a lizard? Is it sorcery, or is it reptilian? Like my name was Gillian, like I was on Gilligan's Island, I'm firing. And if I was on an island, I'd be silent, because if a tree raps in the woods and no one hears it, is it really rapping? If you're on an island where you're not a captive, you can't be heard. It's like you're not there, right? If you're rapping alone on an island, you could be firing, but no one would hear it. No matter the season, it's strange. It's a pain, it's deranged. It's kinda lame. Midable said dragon. Well, Midable, that's outstanding. It's like the moon landing. It's like Ayn Rand, see? I just said that because it rhymes, okay? It's like lemons and limes and chives and vitamin C that I need to keep on fleek, you see? Alright. Schubert reads, says boomerang. Because I choose to smang. Because I'm lucid, man. Because because a fusion is infusing this lucid light with intrusions. I'm intruding on my own fusion. Like might of fusion, I am choosing, I'm infusing with this lucid light. I don't fear the might. I'm gonna find something that comes back, something that returns to me. I choose to see the light, you see, and I'm finding heat inside this. Yeah, we can't go for much longer, but I'm gonna try, because Frischkopf says scuba mask. And I lose the task, I forgot what I needed to do with my flask. I drank too much and now I can't last. How can I see the fishes if I just ate too many dishes? I ate too much food and now I can't swim. You gotta wait 40 minutes before that, kid. You can't swim after you've just eaten, otherwise all your energy's depleted. Or something, you'll turn inside out. I don't know what the rules are there, but my family told me that you can't swim right after eating, or you might just have some damn seizure. You just can't keep eating and then swimming, or you might explode. Yo, 5 more random words, that is a stretch. It's not real, it's a bench on which we are sitting. It's a place in which we are living. But this estate is the 4th estate. It is more than that. It's a Moorish... come on, load up, instrumental. Alright, we're gonna do one more rap. Schubert reads says Matryoshka doll. It's like a Russian doll, because you know inside the doll there is another. Inside the grandmother is a mother, because it's generational, it's ever changing, and there's a relation between all of the ages, between the daughter and the mother and the grandmother and the grandmother and the grand cubed and the grand quartered and the awful order that we're exploring, because the genealogical tree reaches back from me to some kind of eukaryotic form of life. It causes a fright when I think of the start of life, because it's so strange to me, the biology that begins the tree of life. Is it wrong or right? I don't know, but I know that the doll will explode and open up into 1,000. All these emergent properties, beginning with the dropping of the heat, that first divine spark that rises up into a strange fart. It's like a lark, it's like a bird that unfurls into the beginning of the earth. It's like a churning wave, and you know that I can feel the pain of the day, but also I can feel the delight. I can feel the darkness and the light. I can feel the weakness and the might, and you know that is where we reside, in the in-between, between the extremes. That is where we should strive to be. The Aristotelian mean is what we can achieve, so that we can feel our dreams and we can feel glee in the in-between, in the space in between the extremes. We can float between the water and the oil. We can float between the trouble and the toil, between the rest and the work, between the place where we unfurl. And sometimes we have a heart, and sometimes we just have pancakes, because I arrive late and I might gyrate to get my heart beating at the BPM that I need to achieve my dreams. And then I need my maple syrup, because I am serious about this direction that we're living. It's so I just need the 4 stacks or the 5 stacks so that I can capture the man that I demand, and 5 more random words. I'm feeling pain. Sometimes my voice is kinda strained. Sometimes I feel like a snowflake, as though I'd melt at the sight of a flame. But that's why I have my literacy. It keeps me at 1,000 degrees of heat. That's what it means to me, is the ability to read, the ability to see, because I can foster this forgotten knowledge. I can try to make some better porridge. I'm making a sausage out of whatever meat I happen to have, because that's what's on hand. That's what I've got to work with, so I'm circling this circuit. I'm gonna try and avoid the drain for as long as I can without feeling too much pain. And it's like a whole damn galaxy that has captured me, and I'm catching flack, you see, because it's impacting me. It's like I'm strapped to the rack, you see, and it is stretching me, and it's inflicting heat, but I might have to just keep on fleek. I might just have to reside here, because I'm on light spheres, and I'm right here, and I'll never leave. I will reside. The falling of leaves, the falling of autumn, the rise of the spring. I will reside here, and I will not dream of leaving. You know I'll remain, you know I will stay. By night or by day, I will remain. I will remain. Well, that would have been a nice end, but I want to do it a little bit longer, because 2.5 hours isn't enough. 5 more random words, I will complain. No matter how much pain will fill my day, you know I will stay, 'cause it is ingrained. I need the grains to keep my flame burning, to keep my body churning. I might be strapped to a gurney, but you know that I will keep on learning. Schubert reads, says bowling, like origami backwards, it's unfolding. Like a man that is olding, by which I mean getting old. Well, that was kind of strange, but I'm not deranged. It's just the way that the brain sways at the beginning of the day. And Bananakin says fencing, If you're not buying, you're renting. You're eating lentils, and it's sensible to eat so much lentils before you're fencing. Sometimes fencing can mean selling stolen goods, and I pity the fool because it's not cool to sell stolen goods unless maybe they were like a yacht that was not being used. I would call a truce on that kind of movement, but I am choosing to disabuse you of those views, so I'm lucid. It's kinda rude, kid, to send a mermaid, but I don't feel the pain at the end of the day, 'cause a mermaid lives in the sea. At least that's likely. I guess a mermaid could live on land, but sometimes the mermaid might not be planned on the land, might not have a voice. Mermaid might not have much choice. If the mermaid can't speak, how could the mermaid ever feel glee? Because people just want to feel heard. Whether you're a man or whether you're a bird, whether you're a square or whether you're a circle, we just want to feel our actions fertile. We want to feel like our actions have impact. Whether it's a nut we want to crack, or whether it's a whip that we want to crack, whether it's a need that we have a lack, we want to succeed. We want to make our dreams become a reality by our deeds. Make our dreams become reality by our deeds, and that's why a mermaid needs a voice. That's why a mermaid needs a choice. That's why I read some James Joyce. Well, that's a pretty weird choice, but look, Schubert Reed says martial arts G. That's how I learn karate, because I need a black belt so that I can leave welts on any enemy in my world. Because if I get attacked, I will send a karate chop at that man. And then he's gonna run away. And then I will have won the day, because my sensei is so damn wise. My sensei has 10 eyes. Because my sensei is 5 guys. So that's why he has 10 eyes, because collectively he sends the heat, because 5 senseis has more than 3, and more than 4. And less than 44, because that's how mathematics works. Bananakin says the pen is so much mightier than the sword, because the pen can contain all. A sword can only reduce, but a pen gives you the right to choose. A pen can extend the mind, whereas a sword can only end a life. Schubert Reads says cheese wrap. Can you believe that? Please, man, give me a harder rhyme, or I'll find the time with lemons and lime, and I will chop the chives with 5 more random words. I need a surround sound to keep me louder, to keep these pence to pounds, and to keep me louder than the chowder that I am devouring. And then I'll make some kind of announcement, because the sound is sinister, and it's like a strange minister that I am administering in the finish of the end of the ridiculous, sinister invective, the invective that I'm inflicting. 5 more random words, it's an explosion. You're gonna have to apply some lotion, because you gotta stop the motion, because you know that you're not the chosen, otherwise you might just have to stop. Otherwise your body might rot. Otherwise you'll be lost in the fog, and then you'll be never found, you're lost. Schubert Reed says dragon. I've already said that that's outstanding. If you're not at sea, you're on land, and if you're not allowed, you are banned. That's why I make this chant. That's why I rhyme to this sound that resounds on high, and I might have to find that he says accordion. I need more of this. Don't force it, kid, just flow with it. Just go with the motion of the ocean, and you'll find that you achieve a new rotation. The flotation that I'm finding, the orbit of the earth is inspiring. So that's why I go with the accordion, the keys and the motion, because it's got the ivory and ebony. That's how you choose the notes and pitch, you see. That's how you make your fingers dance, and then you can make a sound that is enchanting. It gives me a trance, and I might have to put on my dancing pants. If there's an accordion, I want more of it. I have to dance to this kind of chorus. And Bananakin says skateboard. I'm late, Lord, so I'm gonna have to do some kick flips to blow your mind, so you're not inflicting some kind of punishment for my tardiness. So I'm gonna do a sick grind down this staircase, and you might find the sparks will elate your gaze. You are erased of all your anger, because for skateboard tricks you were famished. I'm such a sick skateboarder, I'm like the lord of this forceful shit, and I'm Moorish for more skateboard tricks. So I'm gonna stick the landing, I'm outstanding, and I'm doing a handstand on the board, and I abhor the sort of shit tricks that I like kick flips. So I am gonna stick this, and I'm like Tony Hawk when I'm sewing stuff. Cause you know, I like the fluff, I like the fabrics. When I get the textiles, I find the right stitches to inflict this. I need to do some embroidery, because I like to keep it noisy. See, I like to scream while I'm sewing, so that everyone on the street is knowing that I'm sewing. I say, I'm sewing! And so everyone knows it. I like to scream while I'm sewing or embroidering or crocheting. It causes elation for me to crochet. There's no way to escape my gaze, because when I crochet, my perception extends all through the day and through the night. I'm like the three fates. I'm like the three fates who can see the beginning and the middle and the end of each day. Schubert Reeds says plunger, because it's like plunder. Sometimes it gets stuck in the porcelain throne, and you gotta scrape it out, yo. You gotta free up the pipes. That's why you apply your might. You use a plunger so that you create motion. It's like a suction effect through the ocean, because you know all water is connected. And you might not expect it, but when it goes down the porcelain throne, down the drains, it goes to the ocean, and so everything is connected. Everything is impacted by your retractions and your rejections. Whatever you ablute, you return to, and it returns to you. We are star stuff, and so is our poo. It is all connected, because when you think about it, people are tubes. Because your mouth and your butt's connected. And so you're really ejector. We all are ejector, and so what we reduce comes back to you, because everything's floating in some sort of collective organism. I'm expecting a schism, but there is none. The cell wall does not exist. We are one organism, kid. 5 more random words, a lethal weapon. That's what I am expecting, but I'm ejecting that expectation. I'm rearranging your face with this mace, that's a weapon. It's kind of brutal, but that is what I choose, because it's a medieval time and I might have to find a better rhyme, because it's continental, this delicious breakfast. It's an omelette made of eggs, kid, and it might have some tomatoes and bread and some cheese. It might be cheddar or brie, but I'll create whatever kind of breakfast you want, because you need the protein to stay lean, to stay mean. At the start of the day you gotta eat, and that's why I serve you some breakfast, man. And you might have beans and you might have beams if you eat the fucking ceiling floor, kid. That's not my recommendation, but I can't change what you're gonna eat, kid. Bananakin says sword. Violence I abhor, but if you need some gore, there's no better choice than a sword. Or maybe you would prefer a bow. You'd like to insert an arrow. That'll certainly slow the enemy, and I like to see an army be divided and parted by the arrows, right to the marrow. Like, my name was Garrow. That would be a weird name, but if you don't have a sword and you don't have a bow, you could always use a fire axe, and by my hatchet, you must relax, or else you will be captured, or else your bones will be shattered. or else your teeth will be gnashing, because an axe is a terrible man. An axe might just have to crash right through your skull, right through your bones, and then you'll never reach your home, because you will be dead. You'll be dead and buried. An axe is pretty scary, because it'll cleft in twain your tits from your brain, and you will be slain. An axe is a heavy way to attack. It doesn't lack for force, but Schubert reads, says tuk tuk, because you know that's a good way to get tuk tuk. You might get kidnapped if you get into a tuk tuk. But of course, mostly it's fine, because a tuk tuk is a good way to get around. Or so I've found. Whether you are paying in pennies or pounds or yen, you know it'll get you to your destination in any nation. It'll rearrange your place from where you're residing. I like to reside on high, so the tuk tuk is pretty good. 5 more random words, I get a ribbon. And I tie it in the system. And you know that the present's gonna glisten, cause I decorate it with so much great stuff. It'll never collapse, so don't worry, man. I will never be famished, I'll never have to forage, I have so much knowledge, so just don't worry, it's such a great texture. In this election, in this invective, I'll never reject it. And simply suggestions bring such suggestion, by any measure, by any weather, light as a feather. Yeah. Maidable likes to say poodle. Have I got a poodle? Man, I've got oodles. That's why I choose you. You are an appreciator of poodles. I like to play lutes too. That's how I make this great music. And my visions are lucid, and sometimes I just gotta hang out with poodles. You know, I walk my dog, and it never takes long. Sometimes I just walk round the block. Sometimes I walk deep into the fog and I'll find a deep bog, and I'll just watch for a frog, or I'll throw in a log, whether hard or just soft, because a poodle has such a great sense of smell. And with a poodle I've never fell, I'll never fall, because my poodle has such strong paws. If I fall in the bog, he'll pull me out. I won't even have to shout, because my poodle is so cool. I choose to stay with this poodle. And Bananakin says kiwi fruit. I like kiwis too. They're kinda tart, but when you part the skin, the inside is kinda sharp, it's kinda sour. But anyway, I will devour this sour fruit, because it gives me the power to shout too. Schubert reads, says DNA. I'll explain your membrane inside my brain. That is the stain, mitochondrially. It is so mean, it's so lean, because DNA is the original floppy disk. It's a storage device, and it likes to keep it all nice. It reproduces information, but sometimes it makes mistakes, and that's how evolution happens, because the mistakes make the mutations, because the proteins don't separate, but slowly they make change, because phylogenetically it will escape the heat, because when you get a new phenotype, it might just be the gene that you need to stay nice and to reproduce, and reproducing mutations keeps you mutating and changing through all of the ages. Then you know you will stay fit, and then your progeny will still exist, and then your knowledging will trying to explain evolution through the mutation of DNA. It's lucid. Maidable says space, or maybe that's the Milky Way. Whatever way, it's beyond explanation. It's the cosmos. It's lost on me. Because the scale can't be tamed, and the time, it just won't remain beyond our perception, because you know that the universe is endless, but our perception is limited. Individuals are similar to some kind of strange simian, We might think that we've come a long way, but really, on the earth we've stayed ever since the prehistoric era. We are really no nearer to reaching the stars. Our grasp barely reaches beyond this muddy ball that we call our home. That's where we reside, and that is our loam. Is there any way to escape it? I can't brave it. It's tasteless bananakin, says Ghost. And you know, when it comes to rap, I am the most. And you know, mail is post. And you know, food is roasted or toasted, however you cook it. You know that I might just have to took it. I had to take it and rearrange it because my bakery just needs the cheese. But my bakery is haunted. There are so many scary ghosts in the bricks and mortar. It's sort of an awful order that we're exploring. But the poltergeist is just not nice. He's stalking the halls by the night. All the ectoplasm is forming a chasm. It's a catastrophe. It's collapsing me. All these ghosts are attacking me. And this static heat is enveloping and escaping. It's a catastrophe. I need a bagel or a bagel. I need to stay here or a... Okay. I couldn't find the rhyme in due time, so maybe I'll just have to climb. I will scale the steepest wall that you have, and I will never fall because of my hands are so strong. I got an infinite grasp, so you know that I am up to the task. However high the summit is, I will never plummet here because I'm so damn good at rock climbing. So I am always rising and never sliding and never falling and never falling. This awful order that I am exploring, I'm kind of Moorish. That's why I keep climbing, because there's always higher peaks that I'm finding. You'd think I'd reach the end, but I just keep climbing. Am I really going up? Maybe I've just got gravity wrong. Maybe I am only moving laterally. Maybe I am shambling. Maybe I'm not where I think I am. And maybe that's a strange way to see the land. Maybe gravity is not what I thought. Maybe physics is not what I fought for. This awful order is disordered. I am Moorish. 5 more random words, the population. It's increasing, it's not staying. It fills me with grief and elation. It's a complicated situation. Sometimes we read the Quran, the words of the Prophet, and I'm acknowledging the knowledge that he fostered in this Gnostic knowledge. The Quran is the newest of the holy books, unless you include the Mormons or the Scientologists, or all those various other sects, and I expect there will be many more. Sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's tin, sometimes it's thick, sometimes it's thin. You can never expect this expectation. I'm regaling you with tales of the ages. Maidabol said snail. Do you think a snail can read Braille? Because a snail would have sensitive slime, and maybe it can read with its slime eyes. It can run its body across the braille, and it'll leave a snail trail. Maybe that will lift the veil, and a snail could be literate. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if a snail was a scholar? It could pick up so much knowledge. It could learn to make porridge. It could keep it in storage. Schubert Reed says peacock. I release the hockey because I'm not acknowledged. No, okay, that was shit. Peacock. A peacock sees stock and it buys and sells. It knows it doesn't take long to make money on the market, and it's for the paper I am farming. A peacock sees moss and it eats the moss because the peacock, you know that it's herbivorous. You know that it is delicious for a dodo to die. For the... okay. A dodo used to know right from wrong, but now it's dead, and now it doesn't know anything. This feathered bird was apparently delicious. That's why it does not exist, kid. If you're too delicious, you might not exist. Let us remember that lesson, kid. Schubert reads, says scissors. And I have a missus. And sometimes she glistens. Or is she a lizard? It's a bit confusing when your wife might be a lizard, but sometimes she's a wizard, and sometimes the sun will glisten. Alright, I think we'll do one more rhyme, one more round, and then we will end this live stream. Thank you for being here. 5 more random words, this is my goal. To find a new sea, a new shoal. Sometimes the pins and I'm bowling, and sometimes origami's folding, and I don't want to be upset. I want to be here till the end. I want the hungry to be fed. I want the change to end, or the section will be underwhelming. It's like fencing, because we gotta hit it on the head. The sloth is a goth, and it's fostering a mascara all over its face, and a banana is in its taste, because the goth sloth loves to eat bananas. It's the potassium that he's capturing, because the sperm whale is so damn strange, because you know it's got a good day, because the whale is gonna slay all the baleen, all the plankton that it needs to succeed. And Maida Bowl says a unicorn. It's like a horse, but with a horn. What a strange form to exist on this great morn. Some people deny that it exists. They say it isn't real, kid, but those people just don't believe in magic, and I feel sorry for them, man. I endorse this strange horse. I believe the unicorn is exactly the sort that we need to achieve our dreams. Because the unicorn, well, I've seen one. Was it real, or was it just a dream? Well, I believe that the unicorn, when it gleams, is what's right for me. Alright, we're going to wrap this up. We're up for 3 hours. That was completely ridiculous. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for the suggestions, everybody. That was really fun. And we will see you next time. Cheers, guys. We will do more of this, and we will attempt to rap well. That's the goal. Thanks so much. Have fun.